Okay, so last time we got together for this adventure, the Curse of Fey, we were continuing the progression towards finding a little lost dog. My first question is, do you remember the name of this dog that you're looking for?
Giggles.
Hey, there we go, Giggles. And so you were sent on this quest to find the poor Giggles, who had been so horribly kicked by one of the Scarlet Wood guards, and ran off into the forest, the very dangerous forest. And you were sent on this journey to try and find the dog. You have passed through quite a lot of this very thorny, very spiky, brambly kind of maze, and it's not been that easy going. You've come up against quite a few different creatures as well as traps in this area. The last of which in our previous session was unfortunately that our tiefling Amoros unfortunately stepped out into the path of a charging giant boar, which managed to gore him and send him flying across the sky into a heap. And the party was able to take on this beast, this very large beast, in a very confined area. And after some very nice moves from our barbarian and from our I forgot. You're a paladin, aren't you, Tisman?
Indeed, I am.
You are. Oh, perfect. Right, I just had forgotten for a moment. My brain was not working. Some nice slashing, some slicing and dicing. I think Bula may have got the final blow in that one, but definitely some very nice attacks were taken on this beast, ripping it open and leading to the beast to finally be felled. This giant boar that seemed intent on stopping you from progressing any further. Now, the boar itself had a large sort of collar around its neck. And I wonder if anyone can remember what the tag on the collar said.
I don't remember, but I remember feeling really uncomfortable because I felt like we just murdered someone's pet.
Yeah, there was something written on the collar itself. I'm trying to actually remember what it was myself while I was in
know
there.
that it was
Boris. Boris. Yes, it was Boris. And so Bula actually discovered this by spending some time. You spent, I think, a total of an hour cutting up the boar, and you've got rations. I think I said for all of you have got rations for maybe a couple of days from the meat that was harvested. But then there's this collar, yes, with the name Boris on it. And I think that Bula removed the collar, but decided to just take the little, whatever it was, the little tag that was on there that had the name on it on the collar. And then during that fight, in fact, sorry, I forgot the important part, with the injured Amoros on the ground, it came to Galatea to offer assistance to try and pick them up and bring them back to their feet. And you were handed a strange bottle or vial of some liquid that, when you sniffed it, smelt like the most delicious, sweetest, most luxuriant hot chocolate that you'd ever come across before. And you quite happily downed that. And not giving you any healing or anything, but it did fill you with this overwhelming feeling of euphoria, like you couldn't feel your pain anymore, and that everywhere you looked, it was just the best. Everything seemed to be amazing and wondrous, and it was just felt amazing to be alive. Unfortunately, since you've been hanging around for an hour, that has slowly worn off, and you are now currently in quite a lot of pain. Now feeling the wounds and things that you have got. I think Galatea, or was it Moira that might have given you some first aid or attempted to try and stop the bleeding?
I did try and bandage him up a little.
That's right.
Yeah, they
But
did
yeah.
bandage me up. 'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, I think I might have bled out.
That's right. It wasn't the greatest success, but I think you did manage to kind of sort of patch the wound a little bit to kind of stop him from bleeding out. But nonetheless, that strange hot chocolate that you were given did for a time grant you a very heady kind of euphoric feeling. I think it was at the same around that same time, or maybe just before, just after. I can't quite remember at this time. But you also discovered in the area that where this pig was, there was a very narrow kind of corridor that led further north in the in the sort of the bramble area that you've been. It was much narrower than any other part of the maze that you've come to, and it sort of headed off, but it very abruptly came to a dead end. And Tintlock did try, with the aid of some, was it a torch used, I think, to try and get the massive entangled vines to separate for you. And they do writhe around. They do try and get away from that light, from the heat of that fire, but only to a certain extent. They seem unable to move very far with all the rest of the entangled briar around them. And the only thing they could do eventually was to lash out, and they did slash at your body, causing some damage from the thorns that were raked across your flesh. You tried a few different things to try and find a pathway. It seemed that there wasn't any way of getting down this corridor, and so you backtracked a little bit into essentially a split, not almost like a T-junction from the direction you were coming from, with a direction heading off to the east and the west from the direction you had originally come. Tintlock, I believe you went down to the west, down the tunnel, and cautiously looked around the corner to see what was down there. And that was the direction that Moira had originally checked out when you entered this area. And there was this strange, overwhelming sort of smell. The air was very fetid and smelt more of rotting decay and death. And so you started to, this seemed to be apparent as soon as you got to the end of this, or to the corner of this route, that you started to sense this as well. And having a slight sneaky little look around the corner, you saw some kind of creature about 15, 20 feet down this alleyway. And there was a somewhat dog-shaped creature further down, very thick fur, but it was apparent that this creature had two heads. Not wanting to investigate any further, you headed back to your party, told them what you saw, and it was decided that you would carry on and see what was down the eastern path. Down the eastern path, the pathway sort of split, a trail going off to the north and one heading slightly down to the southeast. The southeast, immediately your lamplight or your torchlight picks up on some very sort of thin strands of light that were seemed to picking up on something that was further down this pathway, and you could see that there was a very fine webbing that started beginning at the beginning of this sort of tunnel system, and the light was picking up at the glinting edges of this web that was covering this particular area. But there was something else glinting towards the back of this path, further in, past the webs. There seemed to be something of interest there. But I think, Tinlock, you carried on north just to investigate what was there first, and came to the realization there was another dead end at that path. And so Moira approached this area where the spider web was, looking to see if they could find out anything more. There was multiple objects or multiple items that seemed to be gleaming further on within this web, but certainly making it through this dense sort of sticky webbing was going to be slightly difficult. And I think at the very end of the session, I can't remember who it was that saw this now, but shout out if you remember. But at some point towards the end of the session, it was apparent that there was a giant spider hiding high above in the tangled briar thorns above you, looking down menacingly.
That was me.
That was you, Tinlock. Perfect. I think actually because they had a light and you brought more light in, didn't you? And that was what illuminated finally.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, Amoros, I think you sent a ball of light in, but it wasn't enough, or it didn't go in particularly far, so it wasn't a lot of light. And then you brought your torchlight, and that illuminated it enough for you to be able to see this giant spider looming down from above.
Yeah, I did send one of my balls of light up to try to see if there were anything above us. But apparently, from what I remember from last session, it didn't go higher than over Moira's head, so it just bothered her for a minute.
That's right, yeah, it was hovering above her head. I remember now, yeah. So it was casting
But
shadows.
The danger was that it was supposed to go up.
And so
I guess he was shaking from the freaking being run over by Pumbaa.
Yes, you're a bit worse for wear compared to the other members of the team. There are certain members who have had more damage than others, and you getting run over. You've actually, through this campaign so far, have fared fairly well, being a ranged, being a ranged kind of attacker. But unfortunately,
I still laugh at the fact that the moment he decided to, I'm gonna face my fear a little bit, steps out. Here comes the train.
yes, you didn't stand much chance against a fully grown giant boar charging you from down a darkened alleyway. But you managed to survive. You are still alive. The pig remains dead in the corner. You've all got some nice meat. Sorry, but now you've found another creature that lives within this area. And yes, this as the light is sent up, you see the beady eyes, 3, 4, 6, 8 eyes of this spider blinking in the light, the torchlight that Tisfan has brought forward, looking down upon you. And so my question is, what would you like to do now?
Yeah, can I see it? Yeah.
So from where you are, you're further down with Amros down the corridor. This giant spider is up above. So imagine there's a kind of like a sort of a recess in the ceiling in that particular sort of little cavey area. And so it's sort of hidden itself up. So it wasn't until Moira and Tisfin came this close and the light illuminated up into that area that they were able to see it.
Yeah. Well then. Tisman, it's your turn.
Oh god.
So I should just say for anyone listening, we don't have Bula or Moira with us today, but we will be piloting them remotely. So the other members of the team, it is more pressure on you today to be able to make those decisions.
Yay!
Yay! Critical decisions!
With how things have been going for us, it's probably best we don't fight the spider if we don't have to.
I mean, yeah.
It's the spider, gonna murder party.
Maybe just toss it some of the meat that we got and hope it goes away.
Tisfan would try to, would slowly grab Moira by the back of her cloak, shirt, but basically back by her neck, and slowly back off.
Okay.
If he can.
Okay, so you grab Moira and you slowly start to move away.
Amros is keeping an eye on the spider, just waiting to see what its move is going to be.
As you step back, the spider sort of rears back and shoots out this very thin, sticky webbing towards you, Tisfan. First of all, can you give me a dexterity roll to see if you will be able to dexterity acrobatics to see if you were able to dodge this spider web as it comes hurtling towards you? Ooh, that's a natural one. So unfortunately, as you are picking up Moira and starting to move back, the speed at which this webbing is shot out of the spider is much, much quicker than you're able to move, and it shoots its spider web towards you. Does a 16 hit your armor class?
It does, yes.
It does. Okay. So you are hit with this spider web that gets shot out by the giant spider. As it hits you, this sticky webbing sort of collides with the other webbing that's already there as well, and so you find yourself essentially restrained by this webbing and caught up in the rest of the webbing. And as you move, all the intricate webbing that is now connected to you is now sort of moving and jingling, and you see the spider slowly make its way down from the ceiling. And was there anything else here? Let me just read this. Okay, that is all. So what we'll say is now we are in initiative order. Please let me begin a combat as this spider comes down to see if they can get a little tasty morsel. Let me just find... There we go. Found the right music, finally. Okay, so what do we have? We have a 13, we have a 15, we have a 6. Let me roll for the spider.
I don't like this music.
11. We have an 8. Or is that me rolling? That we got the 11. There we go. All right, so I will have to roll for both Bula and Moira. Tispen, you'll have to move back 5 feet because you weren't able to move away. The spider web got you before you were able to move. All right, let me see. So let's roll some initiative for Bula. Oh, look at that. Bula is first. And Moira is now, and she's even faster. So Moira is before everybody else.
I can't roll.
You can't roll?
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll for you. Let's see if you can beat a 20. You do. You get a 22. There you go. So Galatea is first in the order. My goodness, the last 3 rolls were very high. Okay. So yes, as this spider, as you try and back away, Tisfen, the light from your torch illuminates this giant spider, and it sees you laying down the floor. And as you slowly start to take a step back, it launches out its web, and you get tangled and restrained in this horrible sticky webbing. But first of all, to react is Galatea. What would you like to do? You cannot see the giant spider because it is still up in this sort of recess above, but you definitely did see Tisfen get caught up in the webbing.
So Tisven is caught.
Yes.
Moira is okay. Well, at this point, Galatea is pissed off. And feeling a little bit more confident from the recent spellcasting we're going to try, I think.
Go for it.
I think. Can I... How... Did I actually see him getting attacked by something in there?
So you would have seen the webbing get launched at him, but you wouldn't have seen the spider because, I say, it's in this recess in the ceiling in the little cave area. So to see this creature, you would have to be at least closer to Tisfen and Moira than you currently are.
Yeah, I'm just looking at where I'm at. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna run in.
Okay.
I think I can.
Yep.
There.
Yeah, that's. I'll say you can see from there.
How? I have a spell, but I'm just gonna put it up just so I can read it.
Go for it.
Oh, no, can't do that. Okay, hold on. I hate being first. Wizards shouldn't be first.
I wish I was first because I had a plan on this.
I have no plan. I have no plan. Ooh, 15. Okay. Can I cast Frost Fingers safely?
Can you? What does it say? Frost fingers.
Freezing cold blasts from your fingertips in a 15-foot cone. Without hitting the others.
Ooh, I'll say you can. Yeah, I would say Moira would probably be a little bit close. You could step a little bit further in. The risk you have a risk of getting stuck in some of the webbing. I'll say you can do it from there. If you do it at sort of a diagonal angle there, aimed upwards, I'll say that you can probably get it from that angle. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do it.
Right, each creature in this area must make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, let's see how constitutive this thingy is. All right. Okay. 11.
Oh. Does that... It meets it beats it?
So, yes. So your saving throw DC is 11, so he did, in fact, beat. He did actually manage to avoid it. I think what happened is when you set that cone of frost off, it shot out along the spider webs, freezing the spider web itself. But because there's such a dense spider web in there, the effect of your frost got caught on that before it quite got to the spider itself. And so, unfortunately, yes, it doesn't quite get there and freeze the spider itself. Oh, but it does say half as much damage, so we'll say some did get to it then. I just read that last bit. Yes, so it takes half as much. So roll 2d8 for the cold damage, and then it'll take half of that. That's why you should read the whole passage, not just the first part.
Okay.
Okay, so 5 points of damage. Great. Okay, yes. So as this creature looks down on you, you send this icy blast from your fingers. How do you send it? Does it have a particular look, or how do you imagining that happening? Yeah.
I sort of when I was casting the ice to get across the mud. Sorry, I've got this little spell casting thing. It's
Oh, there you go. Yep.
There we go. Yeah, when I was casting Ray of Frost, I think.
Yep.
I was just mimicking Runic's movements. And in this case, I think I would just throw myself into it, really trying to emphasize it, and instead just casting a whole cone.
Perfect. So you sort of put your hands out to cast this same sort of feeling, this frost that you've seen from Amaros before, and you trying to do that, and you send these freezing blasts from the tips of your fingers out, but it spreads out using the spider web almost as a sort of a trail to actually get up to where the spider is, up in its recess. And you just see the spider web's icicles just suddenly sort of dangle down and crystallize as it makes it all the way up, just getting to the very tips of the spider's legs, but enough to cause it some damage. And you see it pull its legs back from the cold as it just reaches out.
Good. Piss off. Is what he's saying.
Perfect. Right, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna try and get Moira to move back.
Okay, so you're going to say that to her.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's the end of your go then. All right. So Moira, seeing this creature, and also Tisfin, you were trying to move Moira back as well, weren't you, at the same time, but got stuck. So I'm going to say that Moira does do that, having Tisfin trying to move her and Galatea recommending that she moves away. I'm going to have her move a bit further back. Let me just have a quick look at her spells. I think before she moves, she's probably going to do a Sacred Flame. That's what she's done previously before. So we'll say that she does a Sacred Flame on this creature before she moves. The target must succeed on a dexterity save. Okay, let's see how dexterous the spider is this time. Oh, I got a natural 1. Okay, not dexterous enough. So let's see how much damage this Sacred Flame that she brings down on it does. 4 points. 4 points of radiant damage as the spider reels back. First being frosted and then having this sacred fire burning into its flesh from above. Okay, lovely. And yes, then she is going to run back over to Amaris, I think, for safety. Lovely. Okay, Bula. What is Bula doing? Kane, are you happy to decide what Bula would do in this situation?
I will quickly inform her of what's going on so that she can decide her next course of action.
So she can't currently from her position see the giant spider, but she has seen Tisfin, 1, get stuck in the web, and 2, see Galatea send up frost up into the ceiling in the area there.
Okay, let me let her know.
No worries.
In the meantime, can you help me get rid of this cone? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
I can indeed. Hop, there it goes. Yeah, if you want to move things, you on the left of the screen, there's like a little measuring control thing, and you have to click on that to be able to then select the item and delete it.
Ah.
But then you have to move back to the token controls in order to move your token again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Technology. So Tisfin, you while we're waiting for Bula to decide what they are doing, you are currently restrained in this webbing.
Well, speaking of that...
Oh, hello.
I have conversed with Bula, and
Yes.
she would like to run to Tisfin and tear the webbing off of him.
Okay, yep, very good. Yep, we can do that. I'll say that we run to about there rather than center, because I think it makes more sense to be a bit further back from whatever it is that's attacking. Perfect. All right, so now this means that she can use her strength, I believe, to be able to rip this apart. Yeah, so it's a strength check to be able to rip the webbing off of Tisfin.
I'll be surprised if she fails this.
Yes.
Don't jinx it.
Oh, I've got to roll, haven't I? Sorry. I was thinking you had control of that, but you don't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have.
don't. So
So I'll roll that. Okay, let me just bring this up. Strength. That's a 22. So yeah, Bula comes running over, grabs hold of the spider silk that is currently bothering Tisfin, and just rips it to shreds around you, freeing Tisfin from the webbing. And I don't now have to tell you what restrain means because you are no longer restrained.
you'll never know.
Yay!
It'll always be a mystery. Anything else, or is that what you'd like to do? Any bonus action? Would you like to rage, or?
I don't think she has any rages left.
Okay, yeah, she may have used them because you haven't had a long rest or anything, have you?
She's all out of rages, so I think
Right.
that's everything from her.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we now move on to Tisfin, now recently freed from the webbing. You see this hungry spider looking down at you from above.
not wanting to step into the rest of the webs, Tisfan is gonna like lob his torch into among the webs, not like trying to hit anything in particular, and pull out his glaive and ready an attack for when it comes within range of him.
Yeah, that's fine. So you lob your torch into these webs, and as soon as that fire hits the webbing, it begins to burn quickly, burning through the webbing and igniting it. The spider recoiling slightly as the webbing around it catches fire, but you see it slowly start breaking away. Perhaps some of the frosted bit takes a little bit longer to go through, but yes, you've now ignited that. Perfect. So you're going to hold your action for if the spider comes closer, did you say?
Yep, within 10 feet of me.
Within 10 feet of you. Okay, perfect. All right, lovely. Okay, Amros.
I just love the fact that my plan literally went up with smoke of that move.
So to speak.
Yeah, I had literally the plan of using Control Flame to take the flame from Tisfan's torch to burn off the webbing that was attached to him.
Ah, right. Oh, that would have been interesting.
Would technically have burned along the string up to the spider too, but, well, screw it. Since I can't do that at the moment, let's go for Eldritch Blast.
Perfect. All right, now you will have to get a little bit closer because from where you won't be able to see. So you'll have to get in line with Tisfan and Galatea.
Oh, I need to be that close.
Yes, because it's in a recess in above. So imagine where you see this sort of entrance here. This is sort of the entrance to a little cave area. So this spider is hiding up above, and it hasn't had a chance to move yet. So it's still up there.
I'm so gonna regret this.
Okay,
Fuck it, I'm dedicated. Let's go for Eldritch Blast.
perfect. Go for it. Oh, unfortunately, yeah, 10 is not going to do it. So you send this Eldritch Blast into the webbing, and the webbing currently is partially on fire. It starts slowly burning away. You can see frost up other parts of the webbing towards the spider. And as you let this crackling energy head towards the spider itself, it is sort of sent off of course as falling pieces of the webbing kind of just block the direct path that you're shooting at to get to the spider, and the energy basically hits the webbing and dissipates along the cords.
Well, shit. I'm gonna use the rest of my movement, which is 5 feet, to just move back a little bit.
Good,
Okay.
thank you. Nervous.
I don't need another hit.
Perfect. All right. Okay, so that's the end of your turn.
Yeah, I don't have any bonus actions I can use at the moment.
Perfect. Okay, Incy Wincy's turn. So, let's see. So, I think... Let's see. Nope, doesn't get that back. All right, so it doesn't get its web recharge back. Still making some more web. So the giant spider is going to head down towards Tisfan. However, before it gets right up to you, I believe that you're in range. You've got 10 feet range, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
So it has moved within 10 feet of you, coming down from the ceiling. It's now standing on the ground, or half on the webbing, but it's now lower down, so everyone down the corridor can now see this giant spider coming towards it with these giant fangs now bearing in the light of the flames and the ice around it. Please make an attack roll. Oh, 10.
Nope.
Unfortunately, not quite enough to get through. You swing your glaive through, but the edge of it just gets caught on some of the webbing, and it stops your full force getting through, and your glaive bounces off the hard carapace of this spider. And it continues to move towards you, and it is going to take a bite, or it is going to at least attempt to. Oh, hang on. What's this? Versatile? Why has it got a versatile attack? I don't know. I'm just going to roll it normally for now. 21.
That's a hit.
I was going to say I should think that probably will do, but there we go. All right. And let's see. As this spider comes towards you, its fangs, it opens its mouth, fangs coming down onto your body. And that is 7 points of piercing damage as it sinks its fangs into you. Not going too deep, your armor giving you some protection, but stabbing into your body. Can you please make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh,
20.
That looked like a 5, and then it went back to that. Perfect. All right. Okay, so you'll only take half of this then.
Oh,
So that's 6 points of poison damage, I'm afraid.
horrible.
Yes.
I am down to 2 HP.
Oh, let me just read this. If the poison reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour. Okay, but you're still alright. You got 2 hits. Okay, so yes, the fangs of this giant spider pierce through your armor, sinking into your flesh, and you feel this poison sink and start pouring into your body. Your blood becoming contaminated with this essence of poison. Okay, that is the end of the giant spider's go, though. Kane, you can see a giant spider at the end of the corridor that's now sunk its teeth into Tisfin, who, if he wasn't already pale, would probably start looking pale.
Yeah.
He went from tan to pale now.
Kane kind of considers possibly just grabbing Bula's hand and just running away. But he's braver than that. He's braver than that. So my first question is, there's kind of a tendril coming out of the briars in my way. Can I just dodge past that, or is that?
That's fine. That is just, you can push that out of the way. It's not a major issue.
But yeah, I'll bash it out of the way with my shield. And I'm gonna come up to there, I think. Really surround this thing, but hopefully help some people out. I don't know how good the old hit it with a big stick method will work here, so I think I'm going to test this thing's wisdom.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Okay, perfect. Is that a saving for me, or?
Yes.
Yes, a wisdom saving throw. Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Oh. It was almost a 12 and then it was a 2. So no, not very wise, this giant spider.
Okay, so 1d12.
Oh, you're doing it at the high level, are you? Oh,
because it's missing hit points.
Yes, you do 12. Perfect. Necrotic. Ooh, 8 points of necrotic. Very nice. So, and how do you do this? How do you send this necrotic energy into the spider? You still there?
Sorry, what did I miss?
Sorry, I was just saying, how do you send this necrotic energy into the spider?
I suppose Kane would say something cheesy, being the guy that he is, and it'd probably be something like, your judgment is at hand, before this sort of ghostly bell appears above the spider. Dong,
It rings out.
Yeah, the necrotic energy kind of rains down from the bell.
That's it. And Tisfin, you probably get to see this mostly because it's right up on close to you. But this necrotic black energy that basically is sent out from this bell, this tone of this bell sound. You just see the face of the spider looking down at you, biting down hungrily, almost sort of like retract its fangs slightly as this horrible black veins appear across its face, and its eyes go from this sort of shiny, sort of glossy like lens looking down at you as they sort of for a moment, half of them cover over with this horrible necrotic kind of veins, and two of the eyes sort of go this kind of milky white as this necrotic energy starts racking the spider. Anything else you would like to do?
Oh well, I suppose it's a bonus action. I'll cast Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. Perfect. So you grab your staff, sending energy, and it becomes a magical object. Perfect. All right. So, top of the round, Galatea, what do you like to do? This spider is very close to you now.
I'm going to stab it because it's really close to me.
Perfect. With a dagger, go for it. Stab the little spidey.
13?
Oh, not quite enough. Its natural carapace armor is just a little bit too tough. You stab with all your might with the dagger, and you do chip its armor. You do manage to kind of get slightly there, but not enough to get to the soft underbelly of this spider. And your little dagger pings off the side of it, unfortunately.
No. I'm really angry now.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Panic.
Panic is a free action.
So,
Yeah.
I feel like panicking is my next move, and that is a free action, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Panicking is free. Okay, so yeah, you take the stabbing and then it doesn't go through, and then you just panic because there's a giant spider, currently pumping poison into Tisfan, who's not looking particularly well off at the moment, and your little dagger has just glanced off it. It hasn't seemed to make a dent. So yes. So we move on to Moira. Moira, let's have a little look at what she has. Now I don't know from this what spells she has used or not, because I believe she'd probably be using. In fact, I'd better load that up. Actually, maybe I can check what she has used and what she hasn't in D&D Beyond. Just load that up quickly. Unfortunately, this program does not sync at the moment, so let me just make sure I'm not using anything that she's used up. Here we go. Right, spells. Let's have a look. Okay. Well, she hasn't ticked anything off on here. I would suspect that she's probably will have used some spells, though. I can't remember if she's used anything since her short rest, but I don't think she would have got them back on a short rest, would she?
I don't think she has, no.
No, I'm just wondering what she has used and what she hasn't.
I think she's quite tapped out.
Yeah, I think most of you would be. I'm not 100% sure what she's got left here. Has she used any of her healing? Can any of you remember if she's used Cure Wounds on anyone?
I think she was out of spells.
Right. Okay.
Only because I discussed being out of spells.
Yeah.
At least leveled ones, and she seemed to express a similar sentiment.
Yeah. I'll have to check with.
I think you both said that you were about spells, and that you were.
Yeah, it's just cantrips now. Cantrips and weapons.
Yeah, I would imagine that probably is the case because it has been quite a few battles that you've had, and there's certainly been some healing done. I'll have to make sure that she's checking off her slots here in D&D Beyond, so we make sure we keep track of that. But all right, because it's difficult to tell because in Foundry it does say 1 of 3 left. In D&D Beyond it says she's got all 3. So. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say that she hasn't got any for now because I know it's been a long time. I feel like she would have used them all. So I will go back to the Old Faithful of Sacred Flame because she can keep doing that forever. So she is going to use that Sacred Flame on the old spider again. And, right, dexterity saving throw. Let's see if the spider's any more dexterous this time. A 10. What do they need? They needed... Oh, doesn't say? Why is it not in here? Did it not say last time we cast this? I'm sure it said on there how much it was. Let me try to see in here. Apologies. I need to double check what that is. I thought it said it was 11 or something last time, but I can't seem to see it written on the in Foundry.
Oh, what the DC is?
Yeah.
Can you see her wisdom score?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It must be a DC of 12 then, based on that. Okay. That's what we'll go with. It's too low. So unfortunately, the giant spider is not dexterous enough. Probably because its fangs are currently inserted into Tisfin. So it is not able to really move very much. So she calls forth this sacred flame again down upon the spider. And let's see how much damage she does. Another 3 points. Okay. Another 3 points of burning energy go through into this creature. It lets out this sort of horrible like scream from its body as it's burnt again by these flames, but is still hanging on. And we'll say Moira stays where she is for the rest of her turn. Okay, Bula.
I'll check with her.
Okay, perfect. I would imagine that Bula will probably take an attack against the spider, but we will just double check. Or she may attempt to grapple.
Don't grapple, please. Please don't grapple.
No, she's not. She's not going to grapple.
Okay.
Considering the spider already has Fortisba basically grappled. No, she's going to step forward into melee and glaive.
Okay, perfect. So she can actually, from where she is, technically attack because she's got a glaive is 10-foot range.
I'll check with that.
But she can definitely step forward if she'd like.
What I thought she'd do was correct. This is Bula we're talking about. She
Okay.
steps forward.
So she's going to step forward and then use the glaive.
Correct.
Perfect. All right. So Bula steps forward next to Tisfin, brandishing the glaive, trying to take a big slice out of it as she did with the boar, and she attacks. Oh, getting a natural 1 for a 6. Unfortunately, stepping close, the glaive a little bit unwieldy at close quarters, this close, and unfortunately the glaive pings off the side of the armor on this spider that seems well and truly invested in eating Tisfin. Would she like to do anything else? Any rage or anything like that, or?
She doesn't have any rages.
Oh no, we just said yes. Sorry, forgot about that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Then unfortunately, that is the end of Bula's turn, and we turn to Tisfin.
Would you say that the...
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I'd let her know, and she was sort of half laughing, half weeping.
Oh, okay. So, she's not been very lucky with the attacks. I think last week was probably the best attack she's ever done.
Yeah.
Opened up that pig nicely. Sorry, Tisfin.
With me having lobbed the torch in and started burning the webs away,
Yes.
would you say that it's burned away enough so standing here would be safe without getting restrained?
I would say you could. Unfortunately, you can't move past the spider because it's currently in the doorway, essentially. It's blocking your
About
path.
That.
Yes?
Let's see here. Can I see behind the spider here?
This it's a giant object. I would say you probably can sort of see through its legs as it's sort of there's areas of it we could look through its legs going backwards and forwards. So to see the other side, I would say yes, you can.
Because I have my Blessing of the Raven Queen. As a bonus action, you can magically teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll say you can do that.
So I'm gonna use that and pop up.
Perfect. Oh,
Sorry, I had my push to talk on my down button.
no worries.
But so that's my bonus action, and as my action, I shall use my glaive. And since I'm behind it, advantage.
You get advantage of that attack. Yep, sure. Oh, nice.
Natural
25.
20.
Another natural 20. Perfect. All right. Go for it. Yep. The spider has its fangs inside you, and suddenly you disappear, appearing in a puff behind it, completely unaware of where you've gone from its maw. It's not prepared for the attack coming from behind it. And you slash, and you get so it's only 1d10, isn't it? So it's 10 plus that one, so that's 16. 16 points of slashing damage, and after it has what am I on the right thing? Nope, I'm on the wrong thing. There we are. There we go. After this spider has stuck its fangs into you, pumped you for a poison, you appear behind it, and with one mighty swing of your glaive, slice the back end of this spider in twain, and the creature falls down dead.
Fuck yeah.
Congratulations!
Ah,
Hey!
that's for you. Please don't die.
Very, very good. Yes, this spider thumps down, and you just hear this sort of like long, mournful whine from it as its body hits the ground. Its legs just splay out onto the ground, around being surrounded by little embers of spiderweb that flutter down, just being caught on fire from the torch that Tisfan threw earlier, and they just slowly flutter down and fall onto this the dead body of the spider.
Okay.
I'm getting really sick and tired of this place.
Me
It
too.
might be worth you coming over here so that I can look you over. That thing was probably poisonous.
Yeah, Tisfan is gonna come. Or, if I remember correctly, we saw some shiny things
Yes.
over where I am right now.
Yes. Would you like to give me a investigation check?
Ooh, that's one of my worst ones. I'm blind.
A 2. Now that the torch is sort of on the floor, you don't have the torch sort of up where you're looking around. You don't see that glinting. You kind of search around, but the light in this area is now a bit restricted, partially because the torch, you don't have the torch in your hand anymore, and partially because the spider is now sort of sitting in the entrance, blocking any light from your friends outside. So you look around, but you can't quite see. There was definitely something shining over here that you saw earlier, but you can't seem to see it at the moment.
All right, then I'm just gonna try to crawl and push my way past the spider over to the other.
Okay.
While Kane is looking over Tisvan, Amros would actually like to approach Bulla and just go, do you think those fangs would be something we might be able to trade? I mean, in this land, coin seems to be worthless, so we need to start acquiring things, and I don't know, maybe poison glands can be tradable?
I think Moira would absolutely want to take the poison glands if possible.
Yeah, I think we'll say that Bula knows more about. But I mean, she can correct me when she's back next time. But I would imagine that Bula would be quite happy to hack a piece off of this thing, regardless. But yeah, I'm sure Moira, being more of the medical type person and probably knowing the value of these things, would probably say to you, yes, that they were worth having. These fangs or something might have some, if not any monetary value here in the Feywild, would have some kind of value, maybe in making toxins or potions or some sort of value for that. In that means, yes.
Yeah, literally the reason why I asked Bula was because I think she would be the best one to try to break them off.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, I imagine the fangs themselves being about knife size, so
they'd be pretty big,
what
yeah.
That can lead to in the future.
Almost like a short sword, the size of these fangs.
Oh damn! Then they are way bigger than I thought.
This is a giant spider, so they are pretty big. And that one of them pierced into Tisvan, which is why he's so badly off currently.
Yeah, so they were probably pretty strong too. Just grabbing a souvenir.
Okay, so Bula can hack one of those off for you. Probably take a little bit of time, but I can say they can probably take the fangs. Do you want both the fangs?
If possible.
Okay, so we'll let's give her a roll. Let's have a survival roll to see how well, because you're trying to take these fangs out, but trying to get hold of them without damaging them and damaging the poison glands that are there as well, and losing it, or in fact poisoning herself by contacting with it. So we'll see how well she does. That's pretty damn good. Okay, yep, you successfully get those fangs. So if you want to make a little note that you now have 2 spider fangs. Giant spider.
Okay, can we get out of here now?
Yes.
What did you need in there? What?
Before the big fucking thing attacked, I thought I saw something back there, but with the poor light, I couldn't find it.
Okay.
Would you like to borrow my shield?
If you would allow it.
Of course, here. And I'll hand it over.
So, just will grab the shield and push himself back in, and try to find whatever was back here again.
Yep, sure. So you go in with the shield.
Can I give him advantage? No, wait. Never mind. I was about to send him light, but now I realized the reason for the shield, because the shield is even light. Never mind.
Yeah, the shield, is the light. So, yes. So you move this light as well, and you look around in the area. Give me another investigation roll, but this time with advantage.
Woo!
I really need to put something else as my push to talk. 16.
Yeah, cool. So, so easily with the light now, as you shine that around, and especially now that the remnants of the spiderweb have now burnt away, they're not picking up the light also. So as you shine it around, you see this item on the floor, just sort of at the back of this sort of briar sort of cave that you're currently in, just to one side of the floor, previously covered slightly in the spiderwebs, but now just sort of laying on the floor. And you see the glint coming off multiple small objects that seem to be embedded in this sort of thin strap of leather, it looks like.
This one will grab it and go back out to the others.
Okay.
What is it?
No idea, but I'll look it over. Tisven will hand Kane's shield back to him and then take a closer look at the object.
Yeah. So now you turn it over in your hands. You find that it is it's a little bit sort of dirty and mucked up, but as you sort of wipe it away, you find that it's a I don't know, about 30 centimeter long kind of leather strap. It looks like the color was probably like a red or pinkish color, but it's sort of covered in dirt and dust. And when you turn it over, you see that there is a sort of a plate on the front of it in the center, and then set spaced out evenly, two on either side of the plate. You see 4 small diamonds set into this leather strap.
Interesting.
And there seems at one end of the strap there's a buckle, essentially.
What? Just the black bit say, if anything.
So if you look at the little plate that's on there, you sort of like got dirt on it. You sort of smudge it off there or wipe it with something. You see the name Giggles.
Oh no.
What?
Tisven will turn it around and show the nameplate to the others.
Oh. But
Any chance that it might be in the belly of the spider and we can cut it out? Or that there is a cocoon in there, and I hope it hasn't, in that case, cooked the dog?
well, we have to look. We just heard it, didn't we?
Maybe we were too late.
I'm gonna go look in the cavey bit.
Okay.
Awkwardly stepping over the spider.
Stepping through or over its little legs. Do you have a light source on you currently?
No, but I have cantrips.
Okay.
I'm sending a ball of light after her.
I have prestidigitation, so I have little fire in my hand.
Okay, that works.
Oh, okay.
On
You got that.
stick, I guess.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, give me another investigation then with your light. If you could. So what are you looking for? You're looking for the dog itself, cocoons. What are you looking for?
Any sign of the dog? If I can't see the dog, the cocoons.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an investigation roll.
Investigation. Not perception. I'm just looking.
If you want to just give me like a glance, like a perception around. Yep. You can do that as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it was an 11.
So yes, and you shine your light around in this area. The spider webs that were around here that have been ignited have all but burnt away now. And you look around, you do see some sort of remains of smaller kind of animals, maybe rats or something like that. You know, little bits that have been left over, little tiny bones, but nothing the size of a dog. And there aren't any, as far as you can see now. I say all the spider webbing seem to have burnt away, but you don't really see any cocoons or any pods or anything being wrapped up in the spider web. Yeah.
There's nothing in here. Got it. Or I will.
Tisbin will, hearing Galatea say "gut it," Tisbin will do that without hesitation.
Carefully.
Carefully gut it.
We'll slow
Okay.
down a bit and gut it carefully, but no, still no hesitation.
Okay, so let's say we give me a survival then to use a knife or something to carefully cut it open, without slashing too deeply into it. This is precision cutting to try and open things. Ooh, a 1. Okay, so yeah, you attempt to slice the arachnid open with a careful hand. Unfortunately, using the glaive is not a precision tool, and so you sort of run the glaive down the side of it, and you hear the whatever gases or internal kind of pods of liquid and ichor inside this thing starts oozing and spreading out the side, and you see that the top of the spider sort of cave in and sort of squash onto itself as its guts and things come sliding out the side.
Well, shit. Tisvan is gonna do the gross thing and try to dig through the guts, see if he can find any indication of the dog being in there.
Okay. So just before you do that, Kane, I'll just check in with you. Are you doing anything? If you're there, are you there, Kane?
Hello, yes.
So Bula has cut off the fangs of this creature. Galatea has been looking in the other area behind the spider, trying to find any remnants of the dog. Did you hear that they found the collar?
Yes, I
Yep.
did.
And Tisvan was attempting to cut the spider open carefully to see if there was anything inside. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too rough, and the spider sort of exploded out the side, and is now about to attempt to dive in and sort of get arm deep into the guts of this thing, trying to find if there's any remnants of this dog. Is there anything you'll be doing during this time?
I suppose Kane's not exactly queasy when it comes to corpses, so I could give the help action to trying to find the dog.
Okay. So you're gonna get down and help Tisvan get in there, arm deep, and try and see if there's anything inside this beast.
Even though they've had all the colour drained out of them from earlier, I'm still happy that I'm wearing gauntlets.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you kneel down with Tisvan. So Tisvan and Kane are both like on their knees, gauntlets all the way into the side of this spider beast, just pulling out whatever's inside, going through the sacs of the stomach glands and all these sort of things, pulling them all out, all covered in this horrible kind of mucus as they're being pulled out slowly from the body. So Tisman, give me another survival check with advantage this time.
You know, I sort of felt guilty stepping aside and getting other people to do it, but I'm quite glad now.
With a 14, so you go through and you pull all the bits in. It becomes quite apparent after you've pulled out quite a few bits and you get to the sort of the stomach that when you select this open, that this arachnid has not eaten anything for quite a while, and is probably why it was so intent in softening you up for its dinner.
Doing just like a quick flick of his hands to get the worst of the ichor off, you will call out to the others. Well, seems like there's no signs of the dog in here. The spider doesn't seem to have eaten in quite a while.
Okay. I have one more idea we can try. I think it might be risky, all things considered in here. We don't really want to run into anything else. But I have one more idea if you guys are willing to hear me out.
Go for it.
I might be able to mimic the sound of a dog whistle. I'm just worried if anything else will pick up on it.
Oh, those are quiet, right? Oh.
Quiet for us, yes. But dogs pick up sound on a different frequency from us. But that doesn't mean that they are exclusive to that.
Oh. Well. Why not?
If that doesn't work, maybe I'll just raise my voice quite loudly and try to call for the bloody dog.
Okay, then. Let's try this, and Amos is gonna cast Minor Illusion to try to cause the sound of a dog whistle the best he can.
Okay. So how are you manifesting this sound? Because it's not a sound that you would have heard.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest issue, that it's not a sound that he would have heard, because he's not a dog himself. It's pretty much how he imagines how it would sound, I guess. It's the best idea I have at the moment.
Okay, no worries. So let me see that. So you create a sound. Its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be the volume can range from a whisper to a scream. So technically, it's not an ultrasonic sound then, because you would have to be able to hear it. It could be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar, a beating of the drum, or other sound you choose. The sound effect unabates throughout the duration, or it can be discrete. Okay, let's just give a performance check to see how well you think you can guesstimate what a dog whistle sound would sound like to a dog.
I take that.
Oh, 19, 24. Yeah, you've never heard a dog before, but you're pretty sure you know what would call a dog. Something that would be a sound that they would just want to come and investigate or to find out. And so you set this sound up. Now, none of you can hear this sound, so you have to. No one will know quite how well this sound mimicked a dog whistle, but it does in fact mimic it perfectly. And so all you can do is wait to see if this whistle did actually do this sound that you can't hear, did in fact work. And so you wait there for a couple of moments, and
during this wait, Tisvan will step up here.
Yep.
I don't know what I did, but yeah. Just in case something else comes barging.
Sure, no worries. And do you just keep doing the sound a couple of times, or keep doing it until you... Because obviously you can't hear it, so do you just keep doing it over and over again until... Waiting for... How long do you do it for?
I would keep it up for maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
So also giving everyone a chance to catch their breath a little bit after this.
Perfect. All right, so
just
during...
to see if there's any chance that the dog might at least bark or something.
Perfect. All right, so while you're doing this, what is everyone else doing?
Yeah. I think just sitting down for a minute.
Okay. I don't think Moira has any healing, so I don't think she can help anyone.
I mean, I'm fresh out. I've been fresh out for about 3 sessions.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think there's any point looking through this list. Okay, so unless anyone's going to do anything else, the sound continues. And sorry, go on.
Sorry. Can I listen out for any signs of the dog?
Of course you can. Yeah. Give me a perception check. In fact, you can all give me perception checks.
23.
23, very nice. $13, 8, Kane 8. Right, let me roll for the other two. Oh, just a 3 for Bula. Probably more concerned with other things currently. Probably getting those fangs and cleaning them off. Okay, and then Moira should be pretty good at this. And a 15. Okay, cool. So I think Galatea, you hear this probably before anyone else does. But you do hear in the distance. Followed by...
No. No, thank you.
I don't like that.
This was a mistake.
Stop whistling. Stop whistling.
Alright, didn't someone mention that the beast on the other side we avoided was a two-headed dog thing?
Yeah, it was surprising you say that because I'll say within the same perception check, because you're so high, Galatea, you see coming round the corner at the very end of the corridor where Tisfin had looked down before, a dog-like creature with two heads slowly coming round towards you to find out what that sound was.
No, okay, everybody in here, hide.
That sounds good.
In here. Fire out. Hold it against the thorns. Make them cover us.
For some reason, I can't move my token anymore.
Yes, I'll dismiss the light spell on my shield.
Wait, how big is the collar?
How big is the collar? It's probably about 30 centimeters long. It seems to be kind of like have been broken or snapped, and at the end there's a buckle one side, but the other side that would normally sort of thread into it nicely seems to be had been ripped off.
So it looks like it's bigger than 30 centimeters.
What the
The collar.
it would have, yeah, if it was intact it probably would have been longer.
Is that Fluffy? No, Fluffy. Giggles. Is that Giggles?
Well, you're around the corner. You'd have to go over and have a check. 'Cause it is still walking slowly towards you.
Okay. Everybody in?
I can't move my token for some reason.
Oh, really? Okay, let me move it for you. Can you move it now? Oh, are you on the left-hand side? Are you on the token control? The little person control?
Yes, I am.
You are. Oh, you should be able to do it. And you should be on the top.
No, I switched away and switched back, and it fixed it.
Perfect. Okay, lovely. I'll move Bula up here as well, and Moira. Okay.
So we'll have his glaive ready in case it attacks.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you all back off as you slowly see this two-headed dog walking slowly towards you. The sound of whatever the sound was that was created by Tisfin has called this creature, not by Tisfin, by Amros, seems to have called this dog-like creature which has two heads. And as it gets closer to you, you see its eyes. Hang on 1 second. Okay, yes. You hear this growling continuing its as it plods towards you. In the glow of whatever light you might have, did you have light still on, or did you say you turned it off?
I just missed mine.
You just missed yours. Okay. Does anyone else do you still have your prestidigitation fire out, Galatea?
No, I thought Amorous did.
Okay. Amorous, do you have your lights out still?
I do, but I sent them down into that tunnel.
Okay, all right. So they're about
They're
here.
not by us at the moment.
Fine. Okay, so yeah, so you send these lights down here. So from your current position where you are there, just peeking around the corner, the lights that are floating above the creature comes to about where those lights are as these spheres of light hover above it, and in that light, you see that you see this large sort of shaggy dog-like creature, which comes plodding up the corridor, looking up at the lights, and you hear the growling noise it makes as it slowly comes down to it. And you see, yes, it indeed does have two heads, both of which snarl and bear what looks like fairly long fangs, with the light above it showing this thick fur and a dark sort of stripe of hair that runs down its back, almost sort of like a mohawk.
Does it have a collar on?
It's difficult to see from this far away. It's very like shaggy fur, so if it does have one on, you'd have to get closer to be able to see. But it seems to have come this way based on the sound, but it now seems to be looking and snarling at the light orbs that are above it.
Does prestidigitation do sound?
I don't know. Does it? Have you got it there?
Faint musical notes, like harmless sensory effect.
Yes. So
Can't read anymore.
musical notes or an odd odor. So it couldn't do like music or anything like that. It can do just a sound, a very small sort of, because it does like a shower of sparks, a puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd odor.
Can I put it somewhere away from us? Don't remember how.
What does it say? Can you see the spell? Okay, let me have a look again.
10 foot of range.
Okay.
And then what?
So the furthest you could put it would be like
10 feet away from you.
there.
Okay. Never mind. I'm just gonna peek around the corner and go. Giggles.
Okay. So you are you moving from your current space? How far are you getting? How near are you getting?
Yeah, shit. I'm going out.
This one would move in front of Galatea.
No. Don't do this.
Okay.
So you're like trying to step in front. You're like, no, get back. Okay.
Stay there. You're hurt.
All right. So the rest of you are kind of around the corner there, and Galatea, you step out into the end of the corridor, and you say, "Giggles,
Giggles.
giggles." do you say it loudly, or do you just say like that, kind of under your breath, like giggles?
Just sort of at first, a little quiet, but then I'm gonna hold out my hands and sort of very carefully walk a little bit closer and go, Giggles.
So as you say giggles, this creature looks away from the light and sees you at the end of the corridor saying giggles, and you hear it growl. Its tail swishes angrily, menacingly, and it looks towards you, baring its fangs.
Yeah.
Now, as that is happening, you notice another creature appearing from the northern tunnel, parallel to this two-headed dog that you see before you. And as it comes into view, illuminated by one of the lights from Amros, you hear as this dog-like creature comes down, and as it comes out, this two-headed dog turns to face it. And now we shall go into initiative.
Fuck.
I'm just gonna say, I was this close before Galatea moved out to have Amaros again try to face Fair. Freaking pulling out one of the boar rations to try to see if it would react peacefully.
Again,
Right.
you have to roll for me.
I will roll for you again. Let me see if I can find this music again. The combat music. Okay, let's roll for Galatea.
I hate this place. I hate it. Well, that's not true. Galatea hates it. I love it.
So, Galatea, this creature that you see. Oh, I haven't rolled for the other two. Let me do that quickly before I start. Why are they rolling so high, the people not here? And they're both at the top of the initiative again. Perfect. Okay, well, all right. So, yeah, Galatea, I will say before then, when you saw this other dog-like creature coming around the corner, you see that it is indeed a canine, a dog, and its shape and size it's more like a coyote, but with like all black fur, and it's difficult to sort of see. Possibly you can see this with the lights that are above, but you see drifting from its body, you see this sort of wisps of sort of shadow or sort of like something drifting in the air above it, and the creature's eyes are of a kind of a violet color. And it's as it sees this other creature, this two-headed dog in front of it, you can see it sort of bristles and bares its teeth. The creature, and they both sort of lock eyes with each other. So, first in the initiative, hiding around the corner as far as she could possibly be, is Moira. So, what do we think Moira would do in this instance, having not seen either of these creatures yet?
Stay out of combat and don't die.
Let's see, what have she got in here? Let's see. She's going to cast guidance, I believe. Let's have a give guidance to someone. Touch one willing creature. Okay, she's going to step forward, and she's going to cast guidance on you, Tisvan.
Dang.
So you get to roll add a d4 to an ability check of your choice.
Can I say anything in the time?
You can when it's your turn. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was sort of
I'll give you the chance to say something before combat begins. Yes.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure what we were doing.
Yeah, no. So you basically what happened was you were calling Giggles. The two-headed dog was looking towards you and started to step forward. And as you were calling Giggles, this other dog creature appeared as well. And then both the dog creatures seemed to face off against each other. And so now we're in initiative just to give us some sort of order of what's happening in this particular moment. So if you want to say something now before we get any further, then that's perfectly fine.
Okay, I just wanna call out Giggles again, just to see if either one of them reacts in a way that seems like it recognizes name.
All right, so you shout out giggles again. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you do that at the beginning of your turn, and then we'll see if there's any reaction when it gets to their turn.
Cool.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so we'll say that is Moira's turn done. And now it is Bula. What would Bula do in this situation, Kane? We don't know. That is what we need to find out.
Is this Bula?
This is Bula, yeah. So,
Okay. I will let her know the lowdown if you want, and,
Yep.
and see what she wants to do.
sure, no worries. And Amoros, you are next coming up, so you can have a little think about what you're going to do.
I am having a think around at the moment.
Cool.
There's actually one thing I need to double check with you.
Yeah.
Because there was one. I was looking for a diamond earlier that I was going to get from the trader Nikos
Yes.
for 1 hour of Amoros time.
Yes.
But I forgot if I got the diamond ahead of time or if I get the diamond after that hour.
No, you were given the diamond. You have the diamond with you. The payment was that you at some point, nominated by you, then you would your payment would be that you would give up a moment of your time, a minute of your time, I think it was.
Yeah, an hour of my time was.
An hour was it? Okay.
I've written that down. I just
Right.
didn't write down
There-
if I
there were
got the diamond or not.
Yeah, no, you got the diamond, but the payment will be an hour of your time. But he allowed you to determine when that hour was. So and basically the way that he explained it to you that the magic works is essentially you just call out his name and that will, wherever you are, and with Fey magic, he will be able to hear you and he will come and you will give up an hour of your time.
Okay, I have an answer for you guys.
Perfect.
Bula would like to step forward past everyone in the group, pull out some of the wild pork that we just managed to obtain, and just very, very politely call out to Giggles while offering the meat.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's say we'll give her a. What has she got here? What's her performance like? That's a +0. Let's say animal handling, because it's a +3, isn't it? And it makes sense for this situation. So you can do an animal handling to see if she can persuade or call out the name and see if either of these dogs will respond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do that. That is a 9. Okay, so she holds out the meat, whistles, giggles, and we will see how well that does on the dog's turn.
Oh.
Okay, Amoros.
Well, shit, this situation is too bloody hard to read. But okay, Amoros is gonna hold his action, being ready to cast Chromatic Orb at whichever one of the dog creatures approaches the party aggressively.
Okay, approaches aggressively. Okay.
Like, he needs to have a cue to know at this point, because like one feels like the obvious one, but this is the Feywild. No one knows what's obvious here.
Well,
Perfect.
how about holding another attack, a less costly one, until then? Or do you want to go all out?
The thing is, I pretty much can choose between Magic Missile, Chromatic Orb, or Eldritch Blast at this point.
Yeah. That's up to you.
Up to you, Amoros. What are you doing? What are you going to hold? Are you going to hold the Chromatic Orb?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it. Just
Okay, so
part of me really wants to fucking use it, but I want to be sure of my target at this point.
all right, so you're going to hold your Chromatic Orb to go off to either of these creatures, whichever comes towards you in an aggressive way.
Well, aggressive, hostile, you freaking name it.
Yeah, but if they come towards you in any way that feels aggressive, then you're going to shoot off that chromatic orb at whichever one does that. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna regret that description, but yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So that's the end of your turn, Tisfan.
This will be another hold action. Tisvan will step out here,
Yep.
and he will bring out his glaive, and similar to Amoros, any one of them that comes up and attempts to attack either Galatea or Bula will be getting hit.
Okay. Fine. So if they're coming forward, but if they actually attack either of those people or attack anyone in this group.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay. Then we move on to Kane.
It's difficult to make a choice here. I really don't know what to do. I imagine that my armor class is probably a little bit better than yours, Galatea. So I don't know if maybe you'd like me to step forward and use myself as a meat shield so as to not have you be mauled if it comes to it.
That's entirely up to you.
Okay.
It's your go. I'm not gonna make your choices for you. I make enough choices.
Please do. Please do.
Do whatever Kane would do.
No, he's such a protective lad.
No.
I think he'd get in front of you. Firstly, when you said either of the dogs, I thought you were referring to the heads. I did not catch on that there was another one. That was interesting to learn as I move in front of Galatea.
Oh, did you not hear that?
Secondly, I'm gonna take the dodge action for my turn and hope for the best.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So you step in front of Galatea. Galatea and Bula both sort of kneeling down and calling for Giggles. And you stand in front, taking the dodge action as you're going. Okay. Perfect. Mm-hmm. All right. So it is now this chap's go. All right. So both of you calling the name Giggles. Both of these animals seem more or less set on looking at each other currently. They seem to be sort of facing off, both being sort of dogs. They're obviously some sort of territory type thing going on at the moment, but they both look and growl, looking at each other. However, there is a moment when Galatea brings out Bula brings out the meat and calls Giggles that this particular puppy does momentarily sort of look towards the party.
Which one?
This one.
Okay.
It does momentarily look towards the party, but its eyes quickly go back towards the two-headed creature in front of it, not willing to take its eyes off this other creature, this other threat. And as part of its go, it is going to step forward and it is going to try and bite this other creature.
I called it.
But it gets a natural 1 for a 4, and it doesn't do very much. The two-headed dog, confusing the dog, this other dog, by having two heads. It tries to bite, but then has to reel back quickly because the other dog's heads try and attack it simultaneously, and it sort of pulls its punch a little bit and doesn't quite make any damage to this one, unfortunately. Okay, Galatea.
Okay. I'm gonna Oh. I'm gonna try and call for it again. Trying to make it come over to us, like tapping my thighs and going, "Come on." And if it does come over, I want to can I want to bring out some fire.
Okay. So basically, you're gonna call the dog again, and if it comes towards you, then you're gonna use what fire?
Well, it depends on what it does, because if it doesn't come over, then I'm gonna have to do another thing.
Well, but if you're gonna hold your action, you have to pick a thing to do. So if you say, I'm going to do this if it comes towards me, that's what you'll do. If it doesn't come towards you, then you don't do anything.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. No, I was, yeah. It's fine.
So what are you doing?
I will, no, I will light a torch properly, with prestidigitation, and I will tell everyone else if we can get it over here. That one with the one head. I think that's Giggles. If we can get it over here, we can close off the channel, and we can keep safe until the other one goes away.
Okay.
That is what I want to do.
All right. So you're lighting the torch, and then you're telling everyone around you that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It is now.
Anything else, can I?
It's up to you if you have anything that you wanted to do. But if you're going to just light the torch and then say that, and that's all you want to do currently, then that's fine.
Can I use animal handling or something to try and convince it to come over?
If you want to try and do that, yeah, you can try and use animal handling to convince it to come over.
Okay. Probably not.
A 7. Okay. Well, we'll see how much you convince it to come over to you on its turn.
Okay.
All right. Now it is the two-headed dog's turn, and seeing as the one-headed dog tried to attack it, it's going to return the favor and also attack. And it gets a 21. Pretty high. So that definitely hits. And it does 5 points of piercing damage as it sinks its teeth into this doggy. And it yelps out in pain as one of these heads attack. And then the other head attacks. That is a 20, which also hits. And that is another 5 points of damage. So this two-headed dog, both heads come into the one-headed dog and start biting at it both sides. The one-headed dog trying to avoid the attacks, but having two heads seems to be better than one. And this dog is looking quite badly damaged now, almost blooded from this single attack from this two-headed dog. Okay, top of the round, Moira. Moira remembers something. Moira thinks back. I think she was probably. Oh no, she wasn't there, was she? So she wouldn't know this.
No.
I'm just thinking. There's a certain piece of information that she doesn't know because she wasn't there, unfortunately, when it was discussed.
She would definitely step out, though. Right? For another reason.
She probably want to keep safe there. She doesn't really want to, she doesn't have any magic left. She does step out, however, sees the dogs that are here, in the same situation as you. Not sure really what if one of these dogs is Giggles, or what's going on. So she is. She's already done guidance, hasn't she, on that one there? That's concentration. There's not much else she can kind of do, I don't think, at the moment. I think she's going to hold a sacred flame in the same way that the others did as well. If one of these animals seems to come towards you in an aggressive way, she will set it off. So that is what she's going to do. Okay, it's now time for Bula again.
Okay, I will get the lowdown from her.
Perfect. And then that will be followed up by Amoros with your turn afterwards. So neither of the dogs seem to come towards the party at this point. So your previous action obviously is gone. So have a think about what you'd like to do on your turn.
Think I know what I want to do. I have no idea if it will work, but I have an idea, but we're gonna wait for Bula first.
Okay, no worries.
Well, I know which dog I vote for.
I mean, I do too, but again, this is the Feywild. We bloody don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea. I'm going by a brief glance. And, yeah.
Okay, surprising no one, Bula is going to run in and grapple the two-headed dog.
No!
She's going to run forward and grapple the two-headed dog? Okay. He comes running forward. Okay, let's see. So she's going to make a strength check against the two-headed dog. So she's pretty good at strength. So let's do... no, that would be athletics, isn't it? So let's do that. Oh dear. That's only an 11, sadly. But let's see. Maybe the doggy is not so good on the old strength. Let's see. This dog is currently a bit stronger than Bula is, and unfortunately she is not able to grab hold of it. She comes in, she tries to grab its body, but it twists and it turns and slips out of her grip.
Oh dear.
And now she's right up against it. Would she like to do anything else? Rage or... Oh, no, she doesn't have any rages left. We keep saying that. So I think that's the end of Bula's turn then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Amoros.
My plan got semi-ruined, but okay, let's try this. I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion to make an illusion of the vines just sprouting up in front of the dogs, trying to separate them. Just to give us a bit of a room to see if they actually are gonna come to us or what's gonna happen. I'm not sure what's gonna happen now with Bula, so let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, you're creating illusory...
An
Right.
illusionary wall of vines, pretty much. Like the form vines that we have around us.
Okay, and this is... so hang on one second. This is Minor Illusion, yeah? Let me just have a quick look. It's supposed to be no longer larger than 5 foot square. The image can't create sound, light, smell, or any other sensory effect. Physical interactions with the image reveal it to be an illusion. I because they're both next to each other, I don't know if you can do it on a space. It doesn't say in an unoccupied space though. All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Again, give me, I suppose, a performance to see how well you can create an image that replicates these vines that the dogs will think is real.
Alright.
because they are basically right in front of each other, like biting each other. So there isn't really a lot of space for these illusions to come through. Okay, 10.
Yeah, that's
All right.
just a 10. I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah, okay, so we'll say that these briars thorns do start pulling up in front of both the dogs. They do sort of pause for a moment, seeing these sort of like briars sort of like grow up in front of them. But yeah, we'll have to see how they deal with that on their turn. But yes, you have these thorns do sort of like pull up, and they do seem to like move slightly further away from them, so they're not in immediately attack, but they don't move out of that 5-foot space. They're still there, but these vines are potentially, from their point of view, blocking the view from one another.
I guess that's the best I could ask for with that move, to be honest.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, Tisman.
Could I try to recall the description that we got of the dog?
Yes. Give me either history or intelligence.
Well, either or doesn't matter. 16.
16, that's pretty good. Yeah. So the description you were given definitely resembles more of the one-headed dog than the two-headed dog. Certainly the girl who Lacey, who gave you the description, even being a child, would probably have told you if the dog had two heads. You think that's probably a stand-out feature of a dog that she would have mentioned in conversation. So you're pretty sure that the dog with one head is the good dog.
Recalling that, Tisvan will call out to the others. Giggle is the one-headed dog. Take care of the other. And move forward. If I can.
If you can. Is it stuck? If you stuck you again, there you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
Can you? That's a can.
And we'll try to hit the two-headed dog with my glaive.
Perfect. Go for it. Oh, that is just enough to hit. Yes.
Ooh. Get it. Nice.
13.
13 slashing damage. Very nice. So yeah, Bula tries to grab this creature around the body, but it twists and turns. But as you run up as well, you slash with your weapon, slicing up the side of the dog, and just creating a large gash along one of its sides, and it yelps and pulls back away from you. Damaged, but not yet bloody. It turns around at you and snarls. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'd say that's enough for my turn.
Perfect. All right, Kane.
I might try and provoke to give some people advantage here, I think, if I have enough movement.
Yeah?
Okay, so that's 20. Damn, so I can only get behind that one. I think that I might have to dash instead of disengaging.
Okay. So you're gonna dash round to this side, are you? Is that where you're trying to get to?
Yeah, so I'll go there.
Yeah.
And then any attacks of opportunity against me, I guess I'll just hope and pray that they miss.
It might try and take a snap at you as you run past. Yeah.
To there.
To there. Yep. Okay. You need to be here, I think, for adjacent because they're not diagonal where you currently are, but you could move there if you want.
Oh, okay. It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be adjacent. So you're that's not quite. If Bula was one square down, she would be alright. But there you go. technically, that's it. Perfect. All right, so you rush past all the way around to this side here. Yeah, you're going to have to leave its area, unfortunately, because this other dog is not currently on your side, as it were. Otherwise, you could have moved through an ally space. So, yeah, we'll do one little, just little tiny little reaction as you run past, a little snap from this dog, and we'll see now. Okay, well, only one of the heads will be able to get you, though, I'm sure. Does a 17 hit you?
I believe it does. Let me double check. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Just you got 18 with your shield. Luckily you were giving it back. Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
I was giving it back.
So as this dog, one of the heads lunges towards it, you just bat it back with your shield as you continue to loop behind it. Now both heads, one pointing one way, one pointing the other way, to try and keep an idea of where all the creatures are that are currently surrounding. Okay. And it is now the doggo's go. So one-headed dog is going to it's not too badly off, but it's not bloodied yet, but it is definitely taken quite a wound from these both of the heads of these dogs attacking it. So what it is going to do first is it is going to take an attack, see if it can get one little bite in. Well, did I say a 12 hit? I think I did, didn't I? It does hit. Perfect. Okay, so it lunges forward to make an attack. Let's see how much damage it does. 4 points. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So, but it leans forward, bites into this two-headed dog, bites it into its neck, and then as you watch the creature bite into its neck, the dog suddenly vanishes.
Oh.
And reappears here by you, Amoros.
Amoros is not ready for that and will literally do a bit of a jump to the side before realizing, oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's just the same dog. Fine.
Now, were you holding anything this round for anything that approached you?
No, because I was casting Minor Illusion this round, so that failed either way.
Perfect. All right, no worries. So the dog teleports over here, So sorry, yeah. So the wall that you created in front of it would have been able to still attack because even if it had moved diagonally one space, it would have attacked again through that one. It would have just gone around them because it's only a 5-foot space it takes up. So it would have still attacked us. So I forgot to mention that when you said. But it takes its attack and then it teleports and appears in front of you, or in between you, Moira, and Galatea. And it teleports there, and you see it look around. And look at you all sniffing, and then it sees Moira. Cool. Okay, so that's the end of its turn. Galatea, your turn.
But okay. How exactly is it looking at Moira?
I mean, give me an insight check. See if you could determine what this dog is thinking.
Okay. 21?
It's looking lovingly at her.
Lovingly.
Lovingly, yeah, like it really wants to make friends with this little mouse.
Okay. Cool. Nothing sinister about that.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, just it looks. It's still looking. Essentially, it appears there. It looking around at you just to sort of check who you are, but it is looking back towards that two-headed dog. Still, its focus, but having taken some damage, appears to be being injured. It's favouring its chances slightly further away from it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go. Hi, girls. Stay. And can I move up so I can ray of frost the other one?
Sure. Yep.
How far do I need to? Like,
Did you actually, when you say Giggle stay, can you give me a persuasion or an animal handling check, please, to see if the dog will listen to you?
okay. Please, please. 9.
9.
Only a 15.
The dog looks at you when you say the word Giggles, but it's unclear. It doesn't immediately sit or anything when you say to it. It doesn't seem like it's listening to you command wise at the moment, at least anyway. But it does recognize the name. Sort of does that little tilt its head to the side when you say the name Giggles, as if you'd like. But yeah.
Okay. How far is Ray of Frost?
It tells you at the bottom. It says 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. Well, then I would like to stay where I am.
Perfect. So you need to make a ranged spell attack for me.
Yes, please. No.
Oh no. Unfortunately, yeah. 5 is not quite enough. You send this ray of frost. What color? I presume your frost is sort of this bluey sort of frosty color. Yeah. So you send it out. This cold, frigid air goes in a sort of a ray through the air towards the creature. But unfortunately, because your comrades are probably sort of in and around it, you're wary of aiming correctly, and the bolt just sort of disappears into the briar just above your target, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm definitely distracted.
Oh. Okay, that is the end of your turn, and now it is the turn of the two-headed puppy. In case you want to know, it is a death dog. Just in case that makes anyone feel any better.
Yeah, I saw that, and it did not make me happy.
So, first of all, it is going to... looking around. It's going to take an attack against the first thing that's near it, which is Bula, who tried to give it a big hug, and it didn't really like that, so it is going to try and attack her first. Oh, a 20 definitely hits Bula. All right, let's do some damage. 3. That's good. Not particularly high. So the first head bites out at Bula, just raking its fangs along her arm as she tried to tackle it before, and it draws a little bit of blood, but manages to get away. And then it is going to run out here to try and attack Tisfan, who was the next person that attacked it. So, Kane, you can take an attack of opportunity if you like.
Okie dokie. How long does Shillelagh last?
Shillelagh, I am not 100% sure. Let me see. I think it lasts for a while. Let's have a little look on here. Oh no, 1 minute it says.
1 minute.
So
Okay,
that would have run out, unfortunately.
It's just a normal quarterstaff whack.
Cool, go for it.
Oh, would that have been at advantage from the flanking, or would that not count?
It's moving out of your range diagonally there, so technically you don't have the flanking. It doesn't matter because you've hit anyway.
Cool. I was just hoping roll again and maybe hope for a crit, but I'll take it.
No, I think because it was moving out of your range at an angle, it wasn't. You're not taking with somebody at the other side. It's trying to get away. So.
Yeah, and I'm holding my shield, so it wouldn't be versatile.
Oh, nice.
7.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, as this dog tries to get away, you clobber it over the head with your, although mundane, still pretty heavy stick. And so you whack it round the face as one of its heads turns away from you, doing a significant amount of damage. It's now looking much more worse for wear, and definitely sort of bleeding at this point. But it continues to move out of that space as you clobber it, and the other head tries to attack Tisfan. So let's see, will it manage to get an attack on you? That is an
That's a hit.
18. Oh, okay, here it goes. Oh, geez. Okay, 7 points.
Tisfan is down.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, don't go in with that low health. What are you doing?
It's just a dog, though. Yes, unfortunately, the death dog bites Bula, moves around, it's clobbered in the back by the stick, but still its other head manages to make purchase onto Tisfan, and the last thing Tisfan sees before falling unconscious is the two-headed dog growling above him. And now it's Moira's turn. Moira, seeing Tisfan go down, obviously very, very upset, would want to run over and heal him to revive him, but that doesn't have any healing. However, she does still have her abilities to stabilize, and so she cautiously walks past the dog that seems to be very much eyeballing her currently, and sort of walks maybe around Galatea this way if she can, and then runs over Tisfan, and she's going to use her ability to stabilize. I think she's got... Has she got the healing kit?
Don't she have
No.
spare the dying?
She does.
Cantrip.
That is right. She can just use that anyway, can't she? Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly. All right. So she touched a living creature that has 0 hit points and becomes stable. So you no longer bleeding out or anything, Tisfan, and you are stable, but you are unconscious, unfortunately. And that is her turn. All right, Bula's turn. What's Bula going to do? Is she going to try and make another grapple for this thing? Is she going to punch it? What's she going to do? Bula, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when a two-headed dog comes for you?
Bad dog, bad dog. What do you do?
Bula is so angry that she would like to make an unarmed strike.
Okay. All right. Unarmed strike against the dog.
Dog in.
Do you want to double fist it and try to punch both dogs?
Double fist.
Is she allowed to do that?
Oh my goodness.
Can she punch both dogs in the face at the same time?
Both heads, you mean, of the same dog? Yep. I guess so. Yeah. If she wants to try and like, you can do one like sweeping punch to try and hit one head into the other head, so they kind of go between each other.
Oh, like one of those office puzzles.
Yeah. So their heads go click 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 backwards and forwards. Yeah. Let's see if you get a really good punch in. Yeah, we'll say she can do that. All right, unarmed strike.
She's excited and likes this plan.
Perfect. All right. Unarmed punch. Where are we doing this? This and attack and normal. That is an 11. It's not enough to hit, I'm afraid. Oh, sucks. It would have been cool. No, so you swing, Bula, with your fist, but the devil dog just ducks underneath your arm and snaps at you with one of its head, not hitting you, but just still quite agile, moving out of your way, and it goes wide, I'm afraid. Is there anything else that Bula would like to do or can do?
Is there anything else that Bula wants to do? Do you have any bonuses, or do you want to do anything?
You don't have any bonus actions, I don't think.
No.
Nah. Okay, sorry about that.
Bula's gonna end it there, but she's keeping her eyes on this dog. I don't think she's gonna let it get away.
Okay, perfect. All right, we return to Amoros. You have a doggy has just appeared in front of you, and the other doggy has taken down Tisfin and is currently dodging around punches from Bula.
Yeah, seeing Tisman go down, Amros has had enough, and he's gonna throw the chromatic orb in the head of this freaking puppy.
Okay, so
So gonna move just a little bit further ahead.
okay, so hang on, where did you move? Just diagonally to where you are?
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
still within range of the blink dog.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so you're going to do a chromatic orb,
Wait a minute.
Oh, it
Okay.
says you haven't got any first level spells left, I'm afraid, though.
Yeah, but that's strange because I had one when we started, and I have not used any that would cost it.
Did you not use magic missiles a couple of times, though, last time to hit the boar?
No, I used it one. No, wait. Against the boar, I used fair.
'Cause-
Oh, that's why it has messed up again. Whenever I cast Fairy Fire, instead of taking the Pact Magic, it takes the spell slot instead.
Ah,
But
I
the Fairy
see.
Fire is from the Pact Magic.
Right, okay, so you want to... All right, so let's take one away from the Pact Magic then, and then add one back to your first level spell. We'll just do that. Next time we'll have to make sure we keep a track of that one on there, but yeah. We'll say you have a first level. Then if you can use the Fairy Fire as a Pact Magic, we'll say that you use that up then. And
Yeah, the Fairy Fire is from my Pact Magic.
yeah.
But I don't see how I can reset that so I can get that back. But this has messed up my IQ.
Hang on,
What am I gonna do?
let me just add one in here. I can do it from here, I think. Here you go. You should have one now on there.
Yeah, okay, there.
And I'll just delete it with your Pact Magic. There we go. All right, so you're going to do a chromatic orb.
$14.
14. Okay, person. So you hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy. Okay, so which damage are you doing? Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder?
To be a little bit funnier this time, I normally use ice, but hey, let's go with a lightning bolt to shock this pupper.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So you lob that over. It does hit.
10 points of damage.
10 points. Very nice. Okay. So did you say lightning? Did you?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So you send this chromatic orb buzzing with this electrical energy that you sort of roll into this sphere and fire it across at this creature. Unaware of this power coming towards it, this bolt shoots across and the sphere explodes on impact, doing 10 points of damage. The creature almost blown off of its feet, but still holding on, limping around. One of the heads falls uselessly by the side of its body. Just one head remains on this creature, just snarling and snapping, but wincing in the pain.
Amrod is gonna yell like he's had enough of this place. He's snapped, and he's just gonna yell at this two-headed beast. Just, if you don't want to lose the overhead too, you fuck off right now.
Hell yeah.
Now, it doesn't say the diamond is consumed in that, so I presume that if it has
the diamond is not consumed
Yeah.
as far as I could find.
I was pretty sure that if it had a monetary value, it wasn't, but I couldn't remember if that one actually burnt it or not. It doesn't say it does, so. Perfect. All right.
Actually, if it had a cost of 50 gold, I don't think they would put it as a first level spell either.
Probably not, no. But they're probably not expecting many people to have a 50 gold piece worth of diamond just lying around the place all the time, so.
Very true.
Perfect. Okay. Yes. So you hit it, but the creature takes an amount of damage from this lightning racking through its body, and say one of the heads just basically just snaps and falls loosely at the body. So it is now also a one-headed dog. Perfect. All right. So we move to Tisfan, who is unconscious. Doesn't need to make any rolls though. You are stable. And then we move to Kane.
Okay. I guess I'll try to finish what what was started, and I'll cast Toll the Dead. Why not?
Toll of the Dead. Go for it. I have to make a roll, don't I? What do I have to make?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
The DC is 12.
12. Okay. Let's see how this little doggy does. 7.
And it's definitely missing hit points, right?
He's definitely missing hit points, yes. Hang on a minute. Why did I get... I rolled a 9, but I got a 7? How does that work?
So it should have been 10.
Yeah.
It's still a fail.
No.
It's
when
still
I
a
saw
fail,
You
but-
rolled a 6. The dot was at the bottom.
Oh, that's my mistake. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I was wondering then for a second. I was like, that doesn't work. That doesn't math. But yes, that's cool. Okay, perfect. I don't think my dice has the dot on it. That's probably why I got confused, because I have a different design on the dice. Cool. Yes, it's definitely damaged. So what was that? 11 points you said?
11 points.
11 points. Okay, and so as this tone, this tone of this bell boom, goes out, you see the head of this dog wince in pain as its eardrums explode from inside its head with this noise, and the other head falls down limply, followed by the rest of its body as it slams into the ground, dead.
Yippee!
Yay!
Ding dong, the dog.
And Giggles is dead. No, it's the death dog has died. And you're out of combat. Now, Amros, you hear behind you the bark of a dog as this furry little coyote-looking dog looks up at you expectantly, its tail wagging.
Amos is gonna pull out a piece of the boar meat and just hold it out in the palm of his hand, going, "Please tell me your giggles." He's tired.
All right, can you give me either a persuasion or an animal handling check, please?
I think I will do persuasion because I'm back.
Yep, go for it.
Well, I'm 11.
And I tell you what, give me that with advantage. So roll again because you've got the meat on you as well.
13.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll say with the 13. Yeah, the dog looks up at you, sniffs at you, and is still wary. But when you produce the meat, its eyes go wide, and it looks like it's quite hungry, and it takes that piece of boar meat from you, and you drop it to the floor, and it just goes into munching. And you see its tail wagging away as it heartily bites into this boar flesh.
Amros is gonna slowly reach out his hand and see if Giggles will let him hit him.
Yep, but while he's busy chewing down on this meat, you reach out and you stroke the top of his head, and he doesn't particularly react. He's so focused on the food itself and gobbling that up. But he lets you pat him on the head.
Okay, guys. We have found the dog. Please tell me we can get this one up. Well, let's get the fuck out of here.
Is he okay?
Moira will be kneeling down by Tisfin and tell you that he's stable, but that she can't. She has no other healing ability at the moment. So he's stable. He's not in any danger of dying currently, but she cannot arouse him. She cannot rouse him at the moment.
Oh my.
First with the double fisting.
Exactly. Oh, double entendre here. Yes, she cannot rouse him.
just, I've got George Takei in my head. Right?
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Perfect. So what are you guys doing now?
Can we rest, please?
I think we should get out of these brambles, and then as soon as
We
we're out,
keep-
we should rest.
We keep saying that, but
We're done here. We could leave.
but we keep trying to leave. It's not working. What if there's another thing just around the corner? There's been another thing just around the corner this entire way. I am so tired. And Tisman is out. We'll have to carry him if we don't stay here.
I'll carry him. Kane will volunteer as tribute.
But how do we get out? How?
Amoros, the dog Giggles has finished that piece of meat that you put down, and he's sort of sniffing around you, looking for more, and he seems in a much better mood. The kind of shadowy wisps that were seen, I didn't mention it to others, but I think Galatea saw this initially. The shadowy wisps that were sort of floating off of its back dissipate and fade away. And he sits back on his hind legs, sort of tilting his head, his tongue lolling out of his mouth and panting, and gives you a little friendly bark. And seems to be much more docile now that he has had something to eat.
Do I remember the little girl's name?
I don't know, do you?
No, I'm asking you because I don't have the very good memory, and my character might.
Oh, well, I guess you'd have to make me then either a history or an intelligence check then.
Okay.
That's what notes are for.
Yeah, I also said the name
very
earlier
good
in the
notes.
session as well, so...
Yeah, and I'm ADHD. Give me a break.
Actually, who in this group do not have ADHD?
Yeah, join the fucking club.
I remember nothing.
7.
remember nothing.
Yeah, it was something. It's on the tip of your tongue. It was la 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 li, la la la. It begins with an L, you think? La Lordna, no. Laura, la 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 la. Yeah, you're not 100% sure, but maybe somebody else remembers.
Laura. What was the little girl's name?
Amoros was never told, I think.
Yeah, Amoros, Tisfin, and Moira came after the effect, so it was only you, Bula, and Kane that would have heard her name, probably being because you'd been introduced. So I can roll for Bula. See if she remembers, unless Bula remembers already.
I'll ask her. Is this the owner of the dog?
The little girl, yeah.
Oh, hang on. Possibly.
Need a Tism person.
Bula shouts out Lacey.
Lacey.
And as you say the word Lacey, the dog comes running over to Bula expectantly and wagging its tail and sniffing around and
Hey. Do you want to go back to Lacey?
Bula's so overwhelmed and melting right now at the
yeah, as you say, do you want to go back to Lacey? And then the Giggles, barks and runs around and does little circles and seems very, very happy hearing the name.
Can you show us out? Can you find a safe way? I don't know if you can understand us, but please.
Yeah. So after some sort of like persuasion, give me this time. Give me an animal handling with advantage, seeing as you've used the name and seeing as the dog's sort of been won over by being given some food as well. See if you can communicate with this dog enough for him to kind of show you the way out.
Okay. My rolls are not great.
11. I'll say that's about enough. That it takes a few minutes of sort of like saying out, lead us out of here. Lacey, go to Lacey. And the dog eventually catches on. You also note that Giggles doesn't have a collar on. The other dog actually, two-headed dog did have a collar on actually. If anyone checks.
Yeah, I can't reach it right now.
I just thought maybe someone would have done. You've looked at everything else that you've gone on, so we'll have a look.
I was trying earlier, but yeah.
So the collar, it's hard to see because it's underneath all the matted fur that's on it. But after sort of like pulling it apart a bit, you do find again a collar very similar to the one that the boar was wearing as well. A bit more sort of rusted than the one that you found for the one that you found for Giggles was like a leather one, but this one's more like a metal one. And when you pull the collar away and you look at the plate on that one, it says Grouchy.
I feel like this is just a big place for pets, and we've just murdered two.
But then after saying to Giggles about getting out and how to get out of here, he will run off to the west. And he gets to the corner and he looks behind you and he sort of bounds about and he barks and obviously waiting for you to follow him.
Oh, okay. Well, you wanted to get out. He doesn't seem to be attacked right now, so we have a scout. We can get out.
That sounds like a good idea. Bula, Kane, do you take Tisvan? I think you're pretty much the only ones who can carry.
Yeah, Bula had already said that if we kind of have Tisvan sort of upright, being carried by both of us on either shoulder, then at least the two of us still have a hand free while we're carrying him.
Oh my god, are we weekend at Bernie's in...
Weekend at Tisvan's, yeah.
Yes. I love this.
So as you follow the Giggles around the corner, and he takes you through the part of the brambles which Moira was most hesitant to enter, which is this area that smells of decay and death and putrid aromas. And it doesn't seem to bother Giggles in the slightest. He goes charging off down this lane and waits for you to follow him going down there. But as you proceed down this corridor, you start to notice that the where this sort of a smell is coming from, and this stench of rot continues to get stronger as you reach the sort of second bend around this corner, and
I hold my breath this entire time.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it is pretty overwhelming as you go through. But as you get closer to Giggles, you see, or you can see, kind of where the smell is coming from, and caught in amongst the roots and the briar, you see the remains of several sort of decaying humanoid creatures that have been tangled up, and partially looks eaten by something that might have been biting at the legs or the arms, or stripping away the flesh. but this is definitely where the smell is coming from. And Giggles sort of has a little sniff around them, but then continues to run off down the pathway. Until you eventually find yourselves back at the entrance where you originally came in. And he runs through the briar, past the body of the deer that you kind of crawled past earlier, and you find yourselves outside the briar maze and back into the not quite so claustrophobic woods, but certainly in the dark forest that you had been in before. Overcast, rain still falling, slightly misty, and the sky very similar to as when you went in, this sort of twilight, everlasting twilight above you. And so, is there anywhere you particularly would like to go now?
Back to the town, please.
Back to the town. I'm sure that can be arranged. So, your trek back through the forest is uneventful. After the time that you have spent going through and through the briar maze and all the events that you had come across, the creatures that had confronted you going through looking for this dog, you eventually come out the other side and find yourself back in the town of Blackshorn.
Is it switching maps?
Should be switching maps. Hopefully everyone will move across and then you will back. And you're way over to the right-hand side if your map does not point you in the right direction. Back where you originally came back in again.
It's been so long.
And as you after several hours, this time you have Giggles with you, who is able to lead you on your journey, helping you to stick to the track, helping you to get back, following a path that he may have travelled many times before, and you make it back to the Lancashire. And you see, just as you come out, as the woods slowly start parting, you see the familiar sight of these Scandinavian-style houses with roofs covered in grass and flowers and sod, and that reach from the tops of their from the peak of their wooden rafters down to the floor, almost blending into the surroundings around them. And you find yourself, back in the town.
Let's get Giggles back and then rest. Just going to start trudging through the grain.
So we'll say Tisfan, after carrying Tisfan for an hour or so, he does regain consciousness. So we'll put you back to 1 HP after a couple of hours of walking through. You do eventually get it. You're still down to 1 health. You've only just come round, but you are able to probably walk, or at least with some aid, the rest of the way. And you are all conscious when you come back into town again.
Tisvan just limping heavily.
Understandably.
I'm gonna just slowly make my way back, hoping that everyone will follow.
And
Making our way downtown.
Making my way.
And we have Giggles running around. When he gets to where the tree is, in the center of the tower you saw before, He does slow down and seem more hesitant, and he decides to take an alternate route, running round the back of the tree, and then round and into town.
Yeah.
No one knows why, but he takes this odd sort of like path
Why?
until he gets back to the center of town and runs up.
I'm pretty
and
sure we know why, Faye, considering you did say that
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
guard
know.
kicked him.
I know. But yeah, and then runs up to a door of a house just off to one side of the center of the village, and he starts pouring at the door.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. And yeah, after a few moments, you hear a voice, a man's voice coming from inside, saying, "Oh yes, I will be there in a minute. Please be patient." And you hear footsteps coming towards the door, and it opens, and you see Bailey, who was the a goat folk who the adult sort of with the child originally that you had met when they'd asked you for help with finding the dog in the first place. Just to remind you, he is a goat folk in about his 60s. He's got short salt and pepper hair, light skin. He's got his horns are sort of short and dark, and they grow up on his head there. He wears like a pair of spectacles on his nose. He's got a band of silver looped around one of his horns, and he wears a simple sort of white shirt with a striped waistcoat and 3/4 length trousers. And he comes to the door, and initially he sort of looks around and sort of unsure as to who these strangers are. But then he sees Giggles, who jumps up at him and barks and licks his hands and face, and he sort of runs around at his feet, and he says to you, "Oh, my, you found my found what was his voice? I forgot his voice now. It is so good that you have found his Giggles. Oh, we never thought, I never expected to see him again. Oh, please, my daughter Lacey will be so happy. Please come in. And he beckons you all to enter.
Oh, okay.
And the dog rushes past Bailey into the house, and you hear the squeals and the laughter of Lacey from inside as she shouts out, "Oh, Giggles, my dog, you have come back to me!" And there's, you can just see the dog clambering over her and licking her face and chasing her around, and she just begins crying with happiness at having her dog back again. And Bailey offers you to come in, and he says, "Oh, please, you have done such a great thing. My daughter has been beside herself. Please, I must. The least I can do is offer you a drink or a warm place to stay out of the rain."
Yes, thank you. I don't think we can stay long. We're exhausted.
Yeah, he looks around at you and says, "Oh, I can see you were all worse for wear. Perhaps if you wish to, do you have a place to stay? I do not know if you are staying in town somewhere or."
We're okay. We're just glad Giggles is back.
You have done such a wonderful thing. I never expected anyone to be able to find Giggles, let alone bring them back. I hope it was not too much trouble for you to find him. He looks around at you, all very badly injured and tired. Feeling...
Carrington sort of laughs. And I goes, hey, to be honest, I think we made more trouble for ourselves than anything else did. Just we might need some assistance in a few days, if you wouldn't mind. No.
He says, "Oh, please, anything I can do for you. Please just name it. If there is nothing here immediately, perhaps you are new to town. Perhaps I would be able to. Is there some information that you want, or if there is any assistance I can provide you around town, or anything at all? I am very, very grateful. And Lacey. Please come, say thank you to these kind people who have gone out of their way to find giggles for you." And she'll just come up to the door, and she'll you just see the tears streaming down her face. She's so happy, and she comes up to the door. And Galatea, I assume you're at the front because
We can't get in the house.
you can't get in the house, but but I presume that you're talking to the guy Bailey.
Yeah.
So I presume you're the one that she'll go to first, and she just comes up to you, and you can see the tears on her face, and she just comes up to you and just runs forward and just grabs you around the legs, and hugs you. Just hugs your legs.
Okay. I'm too tired to fight this right now.
And I punch her. No. Otherwise, I would fight you.
Punch the kid across the room.
Yeah, get off me.
No.
Personal space. No, she just weeps, and she just cries, and she just hugs into your legs and says, "Thank you so much. I never expected it to find giggles again. So thank you. And yeah, she just starts crying and just hugs your legs, and
I'm gonna awkwardly pat her on the head.
yeah. And then yeah, after a moment or two, Bailey says, it is all right, Lacey. Please go play with giggles. I will pass on your things to the rest." And
It's okay. Thanks.
she wipes her tears and her snotty nose, and she just looks up at you all, and she just says thank you, and runs off and just rolls around on the floor with the dog, and just overwhelmed with happiness currently.
It's okay. We fed him. He should be fed. But I think he needs rest. Can we call this a favor for now? Because
Most certainly, yes. A favor for a favor. This is the way of the Fae. So you have done me a great service. If there is anything I can do for you in return, me and my husband, we will do anything we can to help. But please, and he looks at the rest of your party, and he sort of looks at Bula, and he's. I see you two have come across the sands. Is your friend here all right? Are they okay?
So, to be honest, I think we could do with some rest and healing. Do you know? Sorry.
There, as long as you have this gloom sand is very dangerous. It is it can seep into you. It can draw away your reason to be. It can. You must make sure you get rid of it off of your body. You must cleanse yourselves, and if you can find a healer, or perhaps the apothecarist. Have you met Cremini?
I haven't. No. I'm gonna look around at the others.
We did before we went out. Moira was interested in learning some stuff about the fauna around here, the flora.
I wish we had learned about the fauna.
Yes, Crimini, they make potions and things like this as well, but perhaps there is something that they can help you with. I must ask your friend, and he points towards Bula. Your friend seems to have looks like they have become submerged. They have obviously lost the color of their former skin. I do not have much experience myself, but as you can see, Lacey has. You may or may not realize I am not her biological father. My husband, I have kind of adopted her and her brother Gus after she lost both of her parents to the Gloomsand.
God, dear, just some finally clicks that might be what happened. And just goes. I'm really sorry. It was it does pull at you. It's but we're out. We're out. But yeah, we'll talk to her. They to help Paula.
Yes, I do not know if they'll have anything that can help, but it is worth asking. If anyone in this town is to know, Cremini is your best chance. I wish I could have done more to inform you, but as I say, if there is nothing now, then perhaps either myself or my husband, if there's anything that we can do, please just call on us. I am Bailey Ottenbrow, and my partner he is Bertrand Ottenbrow.
Oh, okay. Was it him that we met before?
Bailey is the one that you met before. Bertrand you haven't met. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yes, please, if there is anything I can do, the way of the Fey is a trade for a trade, and so you have given us a service, and if there is anything I can do in return, please just ask.
We will. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And if you want to stay, you can stay, and he will offer you a drink or anything that you would like. If there's anything you want to ask him, you can. Or you can. What would you like to do?
Dinner is done with everything, and just desperately trying to untangle themselves from this conversation.
Right.
Politely.
Thane is going to approach Bula, who's heard this conversation about Lacey being orphaned. You know, though Bula isn't physically showing any symptoms of being, you know, affected by that being talked about, he goes over and kind of instinctively kind of places a hand on her shoulder and gives her a knowing look, sort of trying to be comforting. And the two of them just kind of share a moment.
Cool.
Kiss each other.
No, we're gonna make you wait for it. It's more fun.
So, anything else that you want to ask him, or anything you want to do? Where would you like to go next? Do you want to go into the village, or do you want to have a rest at the inn, or what are your plans?
Go to the inn and rest, I would say.
Yeah. Well, do we have rooms there still?
There are rooms there for you. Yeah, I don't remember if you've paid anything more. I think it was you just paid for the one night. You traded something for the first night. But there were rooms there previously for you. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll go and check. Unless we should go to the mushroom person first. We should probably go to the mushroom person first, just in case. What do you think?
What are you guys doing? Who is doing what?
Is this going back to the tower?
Sorry?
Were we thinking about going back to the inn tavern place?
Yeah, do we go to the tavern or do we go to the mushroomy healer person?
Oh, I mean, we're all very battered and bruised and tired, but also at the same time, I don't think we're going to get into a fight at the healers, so...
Yeah.
Maybe the healers, maybe they'll have something that only works overnight, and we need to go and pick that up before we rest.
Well, yeah, let's do it just for good measure.
Cool. So when you approach the building, which I guess Tisfan or Amaros or anyone can tell you who've been there before, as you approach, hang on, let me just find the information for those of you that weren't here before.
Someone else to go first.
So this place is called the Gardener's Solve, and you just find my little note here. Yep. So it's a single-story house made from wood with a rounded wooden door at the front. It's got a tall, angular roof, which is covered with like long grass and like many colourful wildflowers mixed within it. And on the side, there's a sort of an extension that juts out from the main part and supports a stone chimney. When you guys came before, the flowers that were on the top were sort of blowing in the breeze. Currently, with the rain that's coming down at the moment, they're sort of battered down a little bit, and some of the flowers are just sort of laying over the side and sort of dripping quite heavily. And you're all getting kind of that kind of fine rain that doesn't really do the ground any good, but it just wets you regardless, even though it doesn't feel particularly heavy. So you're all getting a little bit soaked standing out here in the rain. And as you look at the building from the front, you see that there is a sign over the main door that reads "Gardener's Solve." And as you go up to the round door, who's going in?
Someone else.
Nobody is willing to open the door.
God, yeah.
Or I'll open it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So Kane goes up to the door, and you pull the handle, and the door appears to be locked.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah. Is there like an open sign or like an opening hours?
There is a sign that says closed currently.
Cool. Tavern.
I guess we get to sleep first then.
Yeah,
That
and in
makes a
fact,
decision for us.
as you're walking through the town, you do see that the people who were milling about before, there were quite a few people around, not doing much, but there were people around. There doesn't seem to be anybody out and about at the moment.
Which way was the tavern? Was it the one with the tree sticking out of it?
Yeah, that is correct. The one over here.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Where have you gone? Perfect. There we go.
Are we all here?
Ambrose opens the doors and walks in.
Like a cowboy entering a saloon.
Oh no, he's way too tired to do that. He's limping at best.
Is
And
it more that you fall into the tavern face first?
these for like
And we
collapse
all
on the
just
floor.
fall in a big heap.
You know what? Fine. He pushed the door open and just go, one room, please, and he just falls forward.
I think we all do, like bowling pins.
You fall in a big pile.
You enter the Thirsty Oak, the tavern, and you collectively fall in through the doorway into the room that you'd been in before. Unlike before, however, the bar area seems to be devoid currently of many customers, and the bar itself seems to be, if not closed, it seems to be a very quiet time. And the owner of the bar, does anyone remember their name?
No. I remember your hand.
Zachariah.
Zachariah, that's right. He is not currently behind the bar. Behind the bar. But you do hear sort of noises from the kitchen. Just footsteps or something like that. Just basic sounds like that.
Ambrose gonna drag his ass over as close to the kitchen as he can and see if he can spot anyone.
There is certainly a fire blazing in the hearth still, or not blazing so much as it's on very low. There doesn't need to be much heat, but heat needs to be still going to rooms potentially in the building. And as you enter into the house and sort of your footsteps and the number of you coming in makes a little bit of noise as you're coming through, and you hear the door of the kitchen open as you all enter, and you will find that Zachariah, the goat folk, comes walking slowly, hunches down through the doorway and comes in and walks back into the bar and behind the bar and looks at you all and says, my friends, it's so good to see you again. Oh, very nice to see you. You all you all look like you have, I'd say it's, you seem to be worse for wear, and you seem some of you devoid of color. I do not know how else to sort of say this, but you all look like shit, basically. Is there, have you come to some difficulties being here in the Feywild?
We went to try to retrieve a dog that one of the guards apparently kicked into the forest.
Well, this is...
it did not go too well, but at least we succeeded.
These people are very, how to say, they are very disrespectful of places, people here in the town. They are supposed to be here to protect us, but it seems to be that they are more trouble than they're worth. I wish not to speak ill in case any ears here, but seeing as the bar is empty and you are all strangers to this place, I feel like it is not too much to say to speak my mind currently. But please, you obviously all need rest and recuperation. Please, would you like food, drink, a room? What can I do for you?
Currently, I would just like some place to rest. And I think we can agree that the guards, they are guarding something, but I'm starting to doubt that it really is the town as much as their own interest.
Yes, this is true. They guard the tower in the center of town. It is a sacred tree. It is far different than it used to be since we were locked here in this remote part, not connected to the Feywild as we were before. But it is what it is. So we have been here for many years now, and We had hoped that the guards would protect us, but it seems to be that one evil begets another. But please, you wish for rooms, food, drink. What can I provide you with?
I think at the moment 3 rooms would be preferable over anything else.
Of course, and I believe you stayed here before, so you know the way. I would ask. We do not have any prepayment on the books, so I would need to take some payment in advance. If I could, it is quite quiet at the moment. It is light, so perhaps I can do you a deal for trade in something like the room, and I throw in a meal and a drink as well. Does that would that be acceptable to you?
That sounds good right about now.
Excellent, excellent. And as we have said before, you'll know that it is in the Feywild we trade for things, and so I must ask for these 3 rooms. What do have you to trade?
I have some fresh boar meat.
Fresh boar meat. Could be interesting. Yes. Sure. How much do you have?
I'm trying to look in my notes how many rations we get.
So you had about 12. So there's how many are there of you? 6 of you. Yeah. So you had 12. You've given 1 to the dog. So you've got about 11 rations, which is 2 days worth of rations for each of you. So depending on how much you want to give him, he'll tell you how much you could get.
I mean, I would say we most likely divided equally among us, so I can only provide with the 1 ration I have.
Okay.
Tisbum would give up the 2 rations worth of boar meat he has as well.
Okay. So you get with you. So that's 3 rations.
Yep.
Okay. So he looks at that. He says, "This perhaps I can give you 1 room for 3 rations worth of meat. It is good. It is not too. It is fresh enough. If I put this put this away somewhere safe, it would probably be all right. But it is not too much for people. It will make it too much food. So I might be able to give you 1 room for these. Do you have anything else that you could possibly trade?
Kane's gonna step forward.
Yep.
Realizing that as much as physical goods are, an appropriate payment here, they seem to be a lot more interested in things that are maybe a little bit more personal. He contemplates it for a moment, wondering if it's really something that he's willing to offer, but then he looks at him and says, how about 30 seconds of my time?
30 seconds of your time?
30 seconds where I will allow you to use me for your bidding.
I see. This is very interesting. Well, I do not trade in time as much as others do. It is not something I have always traded in. I find forcing people to, as you say, do my bidding. It doesn't sit well with me compared to other people. I do not get me wrong. It is a very generous offer. For me personally, I prefer to gather things from people. So you're right. A personal thing, something that is attached to a memory or a color or a sensation, something outside the realms of the Feywild is very valuable to us. And do you have an item perhaps that is more that the memory is tied to something personal to yourself? And he points towards the wall above his fireplace, and you see, as there was before, lots of different items, clothing items that are all different sort of shapes and colors. But they're all like one-off things. So there'd be one brown glove and one pink sock and one white sock, and nothing matches, but it's all different arrangements of things. And he says, I have this wall, and I like to collect things from different people who come through the Feywild, wherever they are from. As you can imagine, we do not have much trade with outside of this area, but I like to, it's more of a memento for me that I like to keep. So perhaps you have a piece of clothing, maybe, or an item or something that you would like to trade, something personal to yourself?
He ponders it. He ponders it for a moment. Unfortunately, everything that I carry on me is either for my own personal protection or to worship my god. I tend not to stray towards the items of vanity that other people tend to pick up.
I understand. This is very important to you. It's fine. You do not have to trade this. Other things that you could trade with me personally are either a color of your hair, a color of your eyes, color of your skin, these sort of things, or perhaps a sensation. You could trade away the taste of something. Perhaps, let me say, perhaps you could take away the taste of a favorite meal, something that you like. But perhaps you like ale. Maybe we can trade that taste, that sensation away. And so I would take that sensation, that feeling that you have when you drink ale, and you would not have that anymore, but that would be used as payment.
Were there like sleeves and stuff up on his wall, or just complete garments?
They seem to be they're if there's a pair of gloves, it's just one. But yeah, if it's a piece of clothing, it is the whole thing. It's not like the sleeve or the collar. It's the whole garment itself.
Okay.
I take it we're looking at all his fancy clothes on the wall by the fireplace.
Yes. So essentially, we're trading at the moment for the room. They've traded 3 rations for 1 room, and then Kane offered some of his time, but he didn't. He particularly doesn't seem to be interested in time so much. He was looking for either a personal item or a color, maybe from the person, or he's also suggesting a sensation. And he's given you an example of like the taste of your favorite ale, or perhaps the feel of the wind in your hair, something that you enjoy. That sensation, he will take that as payment, and so you will lose that sense.
Okay.
But
no one saw what I wrote. Okay. Cool. Well, I am just gonna stand and look at the things and be an airhead for a bit.
Okay.
But is there anything recognizable in the collection of stuff?
Give me an investigation check. Well, what are you looking for?
Just looking for anything that looks familiar.
Something that's familiar. Okay, with a 12.
Like anything that looks like it might have been from Daggerford.
There are definitely a few pieces of clothing here that don't seem Fey. They definitely seem like clothes that you would normally buy in the mortal realm. There are the clothing that the Fey, that at least the ones that you have met currently, some of them there's similar kind of clothing, but the shapes of them to fit goat people and fawns and those sort of things are much a different sort of scale and size for their bodies. Their trousers, for instance, like that, they don't have long trousers because they have goat feet, and so they would have 3/4 length or something like that, or shorts. So there are definitely items here that seem to be more, and certainly items that are much smaller than they would fit the creatures that you have seen. That's why people are very interested in Moira being a mouseling, and that the things are very tiny on her, and that so they would be of more value. So you're looking at the wall, and you have a look on there. There's lots of different clothing, definitely things that could be from the mortal realm, whether they're Daggerford or not, you don't know. But there's nothing that immediately jumps out at you as something that you would recognize. Like if you're looking for something from a person that you know, unless there is a particular item that you're looking for, there's nothing that stands out.
Fair enough. I just realised I probably couldn't. I'm just gonna stand and stare.
That's good.
Tisvan is gonna rummage through his bag, see if he has anything else that he can offer up. And he'll see that he has some leatherworker's tools that he brought from, the village he comes from. So he's gonna bring them out and offer them up.
Okay, and so he'll take those the leatherworking tools and say, interesting. And do these have a particular? Do you have a particular a fondness for these items? Have they got some sentimental value to them?
They are from the village I grew up in. One of the few things I have left from there.
So it's a sentimental value to you from your home. Okay, yes. I could probably give you a room for this as well. Yes, I will take that. So one room leather goods, second room meats, and last room anybody trade. And he turns back to you, Kane. He says, I will take time from you, but it is not. I feel it's a little bit imposing. So I try not to for travelers take too much. That possibly other Fey may take for granted. I do this to not to offend you, but I tend to think one's time, especially for creatures mortal not from the Feywild, it is a very precious commodity. And although for me, yes, it is worth a lot, I feel bad from taking it from you. I would rather take something that is not so detrimental or potentially detrimental to you being here. Time is very. It's like a soup.
Well, that strange analogy aside, Kane's going to turn to the group as a whole now and kind of say to all of you, how long do you think we'll need rooms here? Because what I'm thinking of offering is something of great comfort to me when times are tough, but is not necessarily something that I wish to keep. I feel it may be valuable to this barkeep.
I think we probably could use rooms here for a while, since we have, the things we spoke with Johan about as well.
Okay, Kane.
I don't think we're gonna be able to move on for some time at least.
Kane is going to turn back to Zachariah, wasn't it?
Yes.
Kane is going to turn back to Zachariah, and with a kind of a look towards Bula, because this is something that he had kind of not been. She sort of forgave it of Kane, but it was something that he could tell she wasn't exactly, thrilled about. But Kane will look at Zachariah and say to him, "Well, safe lodging in these parts seems to be hard to come by. So perhaps if I was to offer you something a little more personal to me, we could perhaps secure rooms for at least a couple of days for our group. Would
Yes,
that be acceptable?"
of course. Yeah, if you can offer me something that is personal or value, I will give you. I will give you the best trade I can.
I offer you my fondness for vodka.
Your fondness for vodka. And is this something that he has that is very important to him?
This is Kane's one vice,
Right.
other than Bula's friendship.
Right. Okay. I thought you were going to trade Bula, but
I'm not gonna trade Bula. After all, not yet. Anyway,
Not yet. Not yet. Vodka first. Then if that doesn't work, right, Bula, come on, we're trading you in. Okay. So this is genuinely something that is important to.
Genuinely, when times at the church are tough for Kane, and he has had a full day, he did find comfort at the bottom of a bottle sometimes.
So he looks at you, almost like trying to determine if what you're offering has value. So give me a persuasion check to see.
Don't make me roll charisma. That's cruel.
To see how much he thinks that this is important to how important this is to you. Oh, 17. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, he looks at you and he says, you're on this for vodka. Yes. Interesting. So yes, this would be this feeling of the feeling of this is something that has previously made you stated you, and it's something that has come to you, and something that is important to you. Yes. Interesting. I think I could probably, for something this important to you, I could probably offer you another 2 nights on top of what you currently have. Is that acceptable? So
I
three
guess.
3 rooms for tonight, and then 3 rooms for 2 more nights.
Kane will turn to the group, see what the consensus is.
Galatea is just standing and staring at the wall. There seems to be nothing going on there.
Since I'm not sure how personal this is to you, I'll leave it up to you, but it seems like a fair deal to me.
Kane's gonna sigh, a little sigh, and he's going to look at Bula and he's going to say, "Well, I always knew I'd have to give up drinking eventually. I just didn't think it would be under these circumstances. You have yourself a deal."
Very good, very good. And he hands you a empty bottle, and he said, "Please, take a drink from this."
Okay. And I guess Kane knocks back the imaginary fluid.
Yeah. So when you sort of tilt this empty bottle up to your lips, and there's nothing in it, so you kind of make the motion of drinking something, but when you tip it up to its apex, there you feel your mouth like full of liquid, and you you're unsure what to do, whether you're supposed to swallow or what. It feels awkward to swallow, and so you sort of instead let the liquid, as you tilt the bottle back down again, flow into the glass itself, and this clear liquid just pours in until you finally put it away from your lips, and the bottle is full of this clear liquid. And as soon as you pull it away from your lips, he takes the bottle from you and he just corks the top of it, and he looks at it and goes, yes, very, very good. Yes, it seems quite pure. So thank you. Yes, trade accepted. Very good. And he stashes it sort of underneath the bar somewhere, underneath. And although you don't feel any different, your sensation for vodka that you might have had before, you don't forget that you had this liking for vodka, but there's the memory or the feeling of that, the taste seems to fade from you. So you remember the vodka being important, but you can't, honestly, the craving that you might have had for it before seems to dissipate, and you don't kind of remember what it tastes like.
I suppose Kane was prepared for this, you know. He knew what he was getting himself into.
And so he passes some keys across the desk to you and through the bar, and he says, very good, very good. So you have these rooms for the next 3 nights, and I will provide some food and drink. It is just 1 meal per day, breakfast or whatever you prefer, and you just come down and speak to me, and we will get that set for you. Otherwise, the rooms are all ready and set up, and you are welcome to sleep. It is, and he looks out the window. Yes, it is quite late now. It's probably time I will be turning in as well. So, if there is nothing else, we perhaps see you for breakfast.
Kane's gonna kind of have a little chuckle to himself. I suppose that it's gonna be green tea and nothing else for me now.
Does he say that to the bartender or not, or is that just to his himself?
To everyone present.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I can't get her to do anything else. She's just standing there.
They were standing like zombies, like in the bar.
Yeah.
Tisman will just grab one of the keys, nod to Zachariah, and hobble his way up to his room and fall into his trance.
And are rooms being shared the same way they were before?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Sorry. What were you gonna say?
Me?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was agreeing.
Okay, so Galatea and Bula and Kane. Oh, yep, go on.
If people are starting to go into their rooms, I think Galatea will finally snap out of it and just go outside.
Okay.
They would try and make their way back to Rohan's house if they can remember which one that is.
Okay. So you're going to be leaving. Okay. So are the rest of you just going to head upstairs to bed?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Before we follow Galatea, does anyone else want to do anything before heading to bed, or are you just going to all go and have a rest?
No, it seems like everyone's tired and maybe a little sad from the day's events. So
Hmm.
Bula's expressed that she'll just kind of, Kane will be there for Bula and Bula will be there for Kane. I think they've both had a troubling day.
Cool. All right, so you guys head to your bed. Galatea, as you head towards the door, and Moira sort of begins making way up the steps, she sort of calls out to you and says, "Oh, is it all right? Do you don't like the sharing room with me? I promise to be very quiet."
You go to bed. I just I need a little time. Sorry.
She looks a little bit sad, but she's like, "Okay, be careful."
Sorry. Okay. I feel so guilty. She's not even here. Yeah, no, I'm still gonna walk off.
Okay.
If you want, we can. Since it's just me, we can work out what I'm doing.
Okay. I was trying to get to a point where we can kind of do a long rest, but if you want to do something else, then we'll probably, leave it there then.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I do want a long rest, but I just don't want to be in the inn.
Okay. All right. So you want to go to? You want to go back to the other house?
Yeah.
Okay. So Johan will be there with his sister as well, Sahana, and
That was her name.
yeah. If it's just a case of just wanting to stay there for the night, we can kind of, unless there's anything you particularly want to ask them or speak to them about. No?
Well, that's it.
That's it.
Basically.
That's it. Okay. So what we'll say is you head back there. They will say that they're quite happy for you to rest there for the night and offer you a room. And we'll leave any conversations about asking what happened or anything until we play again next time, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And the rest of you will have a night's rest in the tavern. And I think that's an appropriate place for us to end it for tonight. And you may all now level up to level 3. Finally. Finally had that rest. That long rest, the good long rest.
I'll finally get my smites back.
Everyone's spells are like, oh, finally I can do it.
Yeah.
We have spells. I nearly forgot.
Yay. So yes, you may all have a think about. I don't know if you want to discuss that now, or if you want to have a think about it during the week and then get it to me. It's totally up to you. But if you like, we can discuss it now. So just let me know.
I really need to head to bed.
Yeah, I thought it was probably going to be a bit too late for you guys.
I know we're all on the same time scale, you and me, but I'm very tired.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would like to go to bed, but I'm not against talking about it before next session.
No worries. Or we'll find some time to have a chat about it then.
Absolutely.
And we can do that then at that point. But yes, thank you very much everyone for playing again tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. You have completed your first quest. Yay! You found the doggy.
Progress.
You found the doggy. You found the right doggy. And the doggy didn't get killed or anything.
Is
So
it? The blink dog or the death dog?
Which dog is the good dog? Two-headed dog with fangs or the normal dog with one head? But you're right.
Joke's on you, it's actually a mimic.
Exactly. Well, actually, it was the spider. The collar just
Oh, yeah.
the collar just broke off its neck when it got too large. So